Hello again everybody and welcome back. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. So welcome back to the channel. Sasha, hello. Van Raj and Jay, hi guys, welcome. Again, it's a new YouTube thing. It's a subscriber only live chat, so if you're tuning in for the first time, do say hello in the live chat. Make sure you click subscribe beforehand. Classical Sheet Music, hello. Kai, hi to you as well, hope you're well. And Aviation Kid, how long? About 3 hours flight time, 3 hours 30-ish gate to gate. So certainly one of the longer ones that we've done for a little while. We're here parked up at Addis Ababa Bole International in Ethiopia, and we've got the Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner with the Heavy Division mod. We've also got a few extra little add-ons like the Luke Air tool, which is free to download as well. Gil, hello, hope you're well. And therefore we've got cabin announcements and things like that. We've also got the FTSim sound pack as well, giving us all the additional juicy sounds for the Dreamliner 2. Latest Heavy Division mod, we jump into the flight deck and loads have been improved compared to the basic default one. For those of you who aren't familiar with the mod already, it can do automated holds, it can, all of this sort of stuff here works, generators and things. And it's also got a improved FMS with SimBrief integration, improved VNAV and other things. David Bartley, one of our channel members, hello to you, I hope you're well. Can't see anyone around us, so I think we're going alone with this today. First time flying this part of the world, and of course we're heading over to the Seychelles to go and have a look at the FSDG Seychelles scenery for MSFS. Oops, don't want an invalid entry. So, route today, HAAB to FSIA, so Bole to Mahé, departing runway 25 right, and we are the Ethiopian Airlines flight 879. We're on the FTSim network as well, and legs wise I've gone in and put these in myself just manually because it's not a particularly complex route, but you can see here the route is pinned in the live chat for you guys as well. MIWAS is a little worrying. And she says 0, so that looks a bit better, I hope. MIWAS, ALKOS, KUSUB, ESTOK, ITPOK, ANVIX, ROUTY, and then the airport. So let's have a little look at plan mode. Crikey. Zoom out of here. So interestingly, Tony Flight Train, hello. Oops, whoopsie. Interestingly, that doesn't look correct, because if I show you the charts, if you very briefly take a look at that, we look at Navigraph, after departure it's actually a left turn, and it says left turn as soon as practicable at the top here. Turn as soon as practicable, intercept the ADS radial 077 to 19 DME, then follow respective procedure. And for us that'd be continuing to climb all the way up to MIWAS. A couple of levels we have to achieve, so we have to be at 12,500 there. We're going to blast up to beyond flight level 155 by 40 DME. But actually, for the MIWAS one, Bravo departure, flight level 145 at or above at 27 DME. Max speed in the turn of 185 knots as well, so that's going to be challenging with this, because we are in a massive aeroplane, but I've also ramped the weight right up as well. So we are heavy. If I show you the payload manager, 76% payload, and tanks are almost full. Well, the left and right tanks are almost full. So we've got loads of fuel left available, but actually we've ramped up. We're only 20,000 kilos away from our max takeoff weight, which sounds like a lot, but yeah, thankfully we've got a long runway today. David A, good morning. A kilo, I'm sure I could consider that, yep. So, where's my sim menu? Here we go. Performance-wise, let's get off that mode. Perf in it. So with this as well, it goes through your checks. So once you give it enough data, it will then tell you that FMC pre-flight is complete. Cruise of 37,000 feet today, and there's all of our data for thrust limits. So takeoff would go derated 10%, but actually I've switched to climb 2 profile because that gives us a bit of a nicer climb out, which is all good. And there's all the takeoff data as well. V1 at 149, V2 162, V2 at 171. So V2 is not far above that max speed for the turn. So we'll set that as a target. And I'm actually going to set a wider turn. Reduce, do 100. So we get a turn to the left instead of after departure a turn to the right. I'm hoping this doesn't bug things out.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Captain Yarit and my colleagues, welcome our Shiva Mile members, Star Alliance Gold members and our passengers aboard Ethiopian Airlines are on scheduled service in preparation for takeoff.
Hey, who's that? Akila, yeah, I've done Singapore to Manila quite a lot, I think. Or Kuala Lumpur, actually.
Who might feel familiar with the demonstration to watch it closely. More information on safety feature is given on the card in the pocket in front of you. Please read it before takeoff. We appreciate your complete attention during this safety demonstration.
Ooh, lovely, a cough. Doesn't get more realistic than that. Someone having a coughing fit. On. Seatbelt signs. Rightio, let's get my taxi charts ready. We're at stand November 13, I think. Interesting taxi route as well. Gusuman, hello to you. Bole traffic, Ethiopian 879 heavy. Stand November 13, push start facing west. Start the pushback, but we need a bit of time. Gets rid of that guy with the ground power unit, 'cause I forgot him, so he's clearing out quick. And we'll wait for that tug to lock in as well. Not sure who that is flying along. Say hello if you're in the live chat. Beacon. Not sure if we can hear this one, but we'll play the safety demonstration. We've got a backtrack on the runway. And where is it? Left engine start. Watching that rise. Oops. Crikey, that's sharp. Bit better. Let's throw fuel in. You know what would help? Actually throwing fuel in. Final luck, welcome on board. Well, it depends on the aircraft. This is not too much of an issue. Hello, that's a sharp one. So you could start engine, left engine first, engine 1, but the Dreamliner's got electric starters. It's just slightly different to, for example, the A320. But it's also, there's a bug with the APU at the moment, so if you don't start the right engines at the, if you don't start the sequence with a bit of a workaround, then it can cause a few issues. Hence why I waited till the engines were ready to fire up, then I turned the pumps on. The APU ghosts on the left aft tank. Yeah, wrong pushback. Yeah, just a little bit. I thought I was on another stand, but it's hard with the default scenery. I said I was pushing, and Ashley, apologies. I'll get you another Dom Perignon in a minute. Deep Saki, yeah, eats your FPS like a beast. Ah, well, you'll be looking forward to the next update then, coming soon.
This Boeing 787 airplane has 8 emergency exit doors which are located on the side of the cabin, from the front, center, and rear.
Put the anti-ice on auto. We can get rid of the APU.
Seated at an emergency exit, use the responsibilities at emergency exits in the area placed in the sweet spot.
You can indeed, yeah. I mean, realistically, you could start both engines at once with Dreamliner, with the way the ignition sequence seems to work on it, apparently. End pushback, we get the parking brake on. We're just by that line there, so we can get the nose wheel sort of steering and turning straight away. RTO. Laps 10.
Take a moment now to look at the nearest sign which should be behind you. In the event of an emergency condition, leave the aircraft following seat mount and skip out lines.
All traffic, Ethiopian H79er, heavy, taxiing to hold point Echo runway 25 right via Charlie 1, cross runway 25 right, Charlie, backtrack, runway 25 left, and hold Echo. Bole international traffic. We are heavy today, so I'm not sure how this is going to work with taxiing. There we go. Gil, yes, it's a stark contrast, isn't it? Yeah, well spotted. So you can see after departure it wanted a left turn, but if we do that, we've got all of that terrain to contend with, so they kind of want you to steer away from that. So we've got initial climb to 16,000, we've got a left turn for a heading of 100 to focus on, and then a max speed turn of 185. Remember with this as well, Vignesh, hello to you, you kind of want the nose wheel to come right up to the outer yellow line because you're steering the main wheels effectively around the centre line, so that's what I'm kind of trying to do here, not that it's working particularly well. But you can kind of see what I was trying to do. So okay, this is the FTSim Sounds mod, in fact. get them strobes on. Where be that? There you go. There we are. Signs are wrong. Bolt traffic, Ethiopian H79 heavy crossing runway 25 right at Charlie. Port vacated.
Bolt traffic, Ethiopia 5.
Is that David?
Check.
Readability 5.
Thanks, you as well.
And Bolt traffic, Ethiopian H79 is clear of 25 right and backtrack runway 25 left. Yes, huge aircraft, Vignesh. And the heavy division mod for the 787 makes it truly, really enjoyable to use. This is actually the first time that I actually enjoy the 787 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Actually, no, just the fly-by-wire A321X sounds, but again, they've been updated and tweaked somewhat. Right, yeah, let's get on that centre line, because we don't want to hang around too long on this.
Bolt traffic, Ethiopian 546, push and start.
TARA. That's all good. Ready to go. Woo, hello. Deep Saki, yeah, the Top Gun one's going to be great. And Sasha, indeed, yeah, I will be watching the footy most definitely. 3,700 metre runway length for us today to contend with. And takeoff run from 25 right. What's it telling us here? From runway head, i.e. using echo right at the end. We've got 3,700 metres exactly, so loads of space. Flaps 10 departure. We are heavy though, so we'll see how we go. We'll go for a derated takeoff as well. Yeah, Gil, it does. The sounds are fantastic. My terrible mouse work there trying to be a cameraman. Hopefully you can hear the sounds in the background. Really good. Vignesh, no, I've got a it's a Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS X stick. That's the set of controls that I've got. Lucas, tried the CRJ again last night. Of course, yeah, you were chatting about it 2 days ago, weren't you, actually? We were discussing it on a stream. It was a treat to fly now that I've got the climb and speed down with your help. Thanks again. No problem at all. That's great to hear. Yeah, by far my favourite aircraft in the sim by a long stretch. I really do like it. Christian, not sure. What controls are you using? And welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing, Christian, as well. There's David. Look at that hill. That's the terrain that you kind of... That's why you don't want to turn right. That's menacing. And we are heavy today as well, so... Christian, it's really confusing actually. It's the first time I've heard of it becoming really problematic. You don't by any chance have something like the old Hangar 9 Boeing 787XE installed, do you? Look at this. Stunning plane. Really looking forward to the Quality Wings 787 when that comes as well. That's going to be quite cool. Quality Wings, yeah, as Jamie's just said there, J-Bay. Quality Wings are working on a 787, -8, -9 and possibly a -10 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Should be getting released fairly soon. Nick, Silver frequent flyer, hello to you, welcome. We're going to hold here at Echo. So when David crosses...
Full traffic,
there we go.
Ethiopian 546, taxi runway 25 right, Charlie, backtrack 25 left.
Is that David? I think it is. Honeycomb yoke, side tack pedals. That's really strange. Have you got I've not got the honeycomb yoke. I don't know if there's a problem with that, with the way it works with the mod or not. Your FTSim tutorials make me learn easy. Thanks for the videos. Very welcome. I always fly on FTSim, so really do enjoy it. Ah, Bread, is that you? Oh, you know what? I forgot Volanta. Let's get Volanta up. That's close. Active flight, add a flight plan, import from SimBrief. Now we need to change that to the 787. There we go. John, big day today indeed, yes. Thought you'd have been flying along today to burn some energy pre-game. JB, yeah, if you haven't got Premium Deluxe MSFS, it's not worth paying to upgrade. Rafman in Kuala Lumpur, welcome, hello. Yeah, just wait for that, look, the sounds are incredible. Just wait for the Quality Wings one. And Andrew in Nairobi, awesome. Or joining you from Nairobi to the Seychelles, using both FSDG add-ons, welcome to Nairobi sometime. Yeah, you know what, I actually almost did fly out of Nairobi for this. But then I found this as a real world route, but of course it's in real life a 737. So he's crossing. All traffic, Ethiopian 879 heavy, lining up runway 25 right and one ahead crossing. Christian, yeah, I've not had any problems with it myself, I've got to say. JB, yep, we're on FTSim today, always are. Lights, lights, lights. Little double ding that they used to do at BA.
Ethiopian 546, clear 25 right.
The departure that I've got programmed. MIWAS 1 Bravo. Before I roll, I'm actually going to make sure I've got the correct charts. MIWAS 1 Bravo. No, it is a left turn. Bole International Ethiopian H79 heavy. Runway 25 right, departing on a MIWAS 1 Bravo departure. So, manually flying into a left turn during the climb. It's been a little while since I flew this. So strap in. We want VNAV active. I'm going to take heading mode out for a spin first, so let's arm that ready. So, thrust set. Those sounds, the Rolls-Royce engines. Let's get the quick exterior sound. Lovely. .67 knots. We are slow, slow. Come on. I think we're going to use most of the runway for this. I've ramped it up as heavy as it will go, to be fair. Get out of the way, transit van. Here we go. Come on, we're running out of runway. Any time now. There's the end. E1. Rotate. Told you we'd got it heavy. Wow. We are just airborne. Yikes. Get rid of the gear. So, autopilot's on. And she's literally flying V2 plus 10, which is beautiful. And slowly accelerating away. Look at that. Ethiopian H79 heavy, airborne, passing 2000. 757 Superfan, hello. Where's them wing views? Look at that. Beautiful. Next stage of flaps in. Have to return to the flight deck, just monitor things. We want to continue a left turn. Direct to the VOR. Alec, we're heading to the Seychelles today. We've got the FSDG scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. Which is particularly stunning. And we're out of that turn now, so we can start to accelerate. 3 hours, 3 minutes airtime apparently.
2500.
Yep, we're good. Into the cloud. I want a radial of 077, I think it was. Oops.
Bole traffic, Ethiopian 546.
There we go.
Line runway 25 right.
There's bread down the bottom there. God, these keybinds. You can tell I've not flown this for a while. We're heading into that cloud now. Alec, curious on to how to get the wing views. Head to flightsim.to and just search British AvGeek. You'll find that I've uploaded my pack there. We are climbing, but ever so slowly. Standard pressure. Basically what I've done is I've uploaded a big pack which includes all of the my 787 custom views, A320neo and CRJ custom views basically. Question is, where's 8059? Flying away from it. Delta 077S. Beautiful. No one have. There we go. We were using Unreal Weather actually for that departure as well. Let's see. 8 miles.
546 departing 25 right.
So this is all Unreal Weather. We'll switch it over in a second to MSFS live weather, but we had rain when there was no rain on the METAR, so that's why I've switched that out, of course. But here we go, we're airborne, and we're on our way. The FSDG Seychelles scenery, which we're going to be checking out when we land, is absolutely stunning. And I've done a little video on it, about 20 minutes in length, showing you a couple of the different islands as a bit of a teaser of what to expect should you wish to purchase that add-on. But it is very, very nice indeed. How are we doing with this? That's looking okay. 16,000. We'll continue climb 37,000 feet. Final cruise altitude of today. That's not armed anymore, that's all good. Transponder's already on anyway. Auto brakes flicked itself to off naturally. And we're in LNAV VNAV, autopilot on, auto throttle arms both on. Weather. Me too, hello, and Thomas, one of our channel members as well. Hello to you, hope you're well. If you guys watching have got any questions about the Heavy Division mod, then do ask away in the live chats. Bobcat, great question. What mods am I using? Very warm welcome to you as well. Thanks for subscribing. We've got Navigraph. I paid for the annual subscription, so it's all up front and paid for, if you like, in one big go. It actually works out a bit cheaper. We've got the Luke Air tool, which is what we were getting for the announcements a little earlier on, and we've got the 787 mod, which massively improves it, makes it really enjoyable to fly actually. It can do automated holds and all sorts of cool stuff, and that's a mod called Heavy Division, and you can download that link. You can download the mod by joining their Discord server basically. Sean, hello to you, welcome. What else have we got here? We're on FTSim as well, of course. Blisk is €2, no, $2 I think on Patreon, but you can download the sounds that we've got today by just googling FTSim 787 MSFS. If you Google that, you will then find it all through. And there, yeah, for those of you looking for the 787 mod, you need Premium Deluxe, so you have to have your Sobo 787 already in your sim. But I'm just going to fetch you the link to, firstly, their Discord server, and you'll find me chatting in there at times as well. And you will also take the live chat. I'll pop that link in there for you. That's also where the links are and all the latest information about what the latest updates to the mod have been. If you just want the direct download link, again, check the live chat. I'll put the direct download link in. So for those of you watching, it might be on your PC. If you just click that link, it will automatically download for you, which is really cool. And then you'll have the very latest Heavy Division mod, which is what we're using today. There you go. Nick, pardon me, instead of our default config files for default views that came with MSFS, what's the question? Let's get some stream beats going on. Brian, hello, very well, thanks. Hope you're okay as well. Nabil, is the default 787 in Premium Deluxe fully operational? No, it's actually pretty bad, to be honest. But that's where this mod comes in really handy. So if you've got the 787 in MSFS, the Asobo one, this is a must-have free mod. And for the first time since I discovered this around about March time, I think, March, April, made rapid progress. Just this one guy, and because of him and all the work he's done within this Heavy Division project, we can now enjoy the 787. We can do 3, 4, 5 hour flights with sim brief integration and all sorts of cool stuff. If we are on FTSim and we get asked to fly a hold, we can just click hold, see the menu pop up there, and we can choose what waypoint, so we can hold at IPOC, for example, and it will draw it in and fly the hold beautifully. Really very, very good. So absolutely fantastic. Samir, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. Guys, don't forget to give us a like while you're here if you're enjoying today's live stream. Ilias is asking, how is this mod compared to the A32NX? Is it better and further in dev than the A32NX currently is? That's a great question. So, effectively, well, the A32NX is really fantastic, isn't it? Everybody knows it, everybody loves it. It's really, really quite special in the sim. Very highly detailed, but what that can't do that this can do is fly automatic holds. It's got a flight plan manager built into it as well, so it can work through discontinuities and all sorts of cool stuff as well. So there are different options. They're both at very different stages, I guess. It's probably the best way to explain it. Wexley's asking, can you tell me what is this mod about? So it takes the default 787, which is in the Premium Deluxe MSFS, and then it replaces via a folder in your community folder. It will then tell the sim to use its files instead, so it makes it more realistic. So very, very good bit of coding. Yes, Nick, sorry, I have spotted your question up the top there. Yeah, I noticed even doing a later my own flight at Rajiv Gandhi, which is yesterday's flight, the trucks randomly rest even on a runway. Yeah, it's some scenery like Mako Simulations, Manchester, Birmingham. That's been created so that all the ground vehicles avoid the taxiways and the runways. But the default airports don't have that, of course. Ilias, yes, scroll up in the live chat. I literally have just put the link to Discord up there. So look for my 2 yellow tags in the live chat. Just a few comments above. You'll see the first link, 787 Mod Heavy Division Discord. That's the invite to their Discord server. And then below that is the direct download link. So for those of you who might want to download the mod directly at the same time. So join their Discord, you'll find all the updates in there. And you'll also get any replacement download links should they change that. But also, below that comment was the direct download link. So you can just click that, download the very latest branch for the 787 mod, which is what we're using today, of course. Jonathan, hello, welcome. Hope you're okay. Big day today for the football, of course. Not sure if I should support England or Italy. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm supporting England. I forgot to turn the lights off. I knew I did. I was just racking my brain for the last 5-6 minutes wondering what I've forgotten. Oh, also, don't know if it will happen here, but the sounds pack. Yeah, it doesn't. Remind me, guys, when we get on the ground, remind me to show you the wiper sounds. I'm just going to put this back onto live weather. Sorry, aeroplane. Throwing it around violently. Got that precipitation down below now. That's one thing that wasn't on the Metar. We had really heavy rain. Ryan, a bit off topic, with the A32NX dev version won't let you set autopilot, so we went back with the change your Z. Well, it depends what your dead zones are then, actually. I can't remember what my dead zones are, actually, to be honest. I think they're about 14% or so. But if there's any control input, you'll find that when you try and turn autopilot on a couple of the aeroplanes that have been made to be more realistic, like the A32NX, it will disengage the autopilot because it thinks there's some manual control going in. The experimental version is very out of date. It's about 3 months old now. Hasn't been updated since. So the fly-by-wire dev branch is the one that you want to use, really. Jonathan, nice. Doing fine, thanks. Came back from an art exposition about DreamWorks animation. Yeah, that sounds awesome. They're the guys that make the massive movies, aren't they? Nick, put it here, no problem at all. Would downloading your custom views guarantee for me to have them finally? For some reason they stay for some time but never hold for me permanently. Well, let me find the link to it. I'll go on to flightsim.to and I'll find the link. You can download it and give it a go. All you've got to do is take the camera config files out of each one and plonk that into, for example, where the camera config file is within the fly-by-wire folder or this 787 heavy division folder, for example. You guys will, I'm sure you'll work it out. What it might rely on is, I'll put it in the live chat. What it might rely on is you guys having the same key bindings as myself. So, for reference, for me to move my camera views around, I've got the Alt, which is next to my spacebar on the left, and then the 1 to 0 at the very top of the QWERTY keyboard area. That's where I've set all of my custom views. So all of these ones here are what you'll be able to download for the 787 via that link that I've just put in the live chat. Love the wing views especially, they're my favourites. And those ones, it's dope. High bypass ratio engine, which is why it's kind of see-through going all the way through. The same in real life, of course, too. Lord Jonas, welcome on board. Ryan, well, this one you have to put more data in. And Rusuman, does the mod have VNAV? Yes, it does. That's what makes it really good, actually. I can't show you now because we've already departed, but when you're setting up the pre-takeoff screens and the thrust limitation screens, one of the options you'll see CLB1, CLB2, climb 1, or basically climb profile 1 and climb profile 2. You want to change that setting, as I showed at the very beginning today. You want to change that setting to climb 2. And what it does is it will then fly pretty much at V2 plus 10, which you guys saw as we departed today. It will fly at V2 plus 10 until 1,500 foot above the ground, and then it'll allow itself to accelerate really smoothly like it's doing. We've pretty much been on VNAV the entire way, after about 30 seconds from departure. Nick, yeah, no, you're okay there for additional number keypad things. You shouldn't have to purchase any extra ones. Vignesh, Streamlabs OBS is what we're using today, or for my streams. Quality Wing 787 shouldn't be too far away. I say shouldn't. We discussed it yesterday briefly, and they set an estimation of Q2 2021, which is obviously that ended in June. So not really sure when it's going to turn up, but I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be an instant buy actually, I think, the second it's released, I think. How can you check your dead zones? So go into your settings, so you press escape, you go to that menu, click controls, and then for your joystick, for example, select that and then click sensitivity, and you'll see a couple of different values. You want to see what the sensitivity says, or dead zones it says. They have to be definitely over 10%. Nick, yeah, really strange actually if it's not working as expected. About 200 people have downloaded the package though, and they're working okay with it so far. A couple of people have had issues like yourself. I'm not really sure what to suggest except for just trying to manually set them yourself, I guess. Tony, what arrival star are we doing? So we're expecting runway 13 in the Seychelles. We're coming in via a waypoint called ROUTY. We're going to expect a ROUTY 1 Delta arrival. So to show you Navigraph again as we're climbing away nearer towards top of climb. You can kind of see roughly our route. We're coming out of Ethiopia over Somalia, so we're going to go over from KUSUB, which is Somalian airspace, all the way direct to ESTOK. It's direct waypoints because you guys can see here there aren't many airways. We're just sort of crossing through, but we're copying a real world route. Then we're going to join the Mike 651 airway, cross the Indian Ocean. In fact, is it the Indian Ocean? Yeah, it is. I'm sure it is. Down to ROUTY, which is just there. Everything you can see here, all of these little blobs of islands, really quite far away, some of them as well. Some of them are super tiny, so we can't really see them until we zoom right in. But they're all included in the FSDG scenery that we're going to be flying into. It's one of those things, actually, it's quite strange. It doesn't actually exist properly in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so the whole of the Seychelles is basically missing. But this is a stunning bit of scenery, as you guys will see when we get there. Arrival route wise, Star, ROUTY 1 Delta, you can quite literally see we're coming in ROUTY straight down to Malon at or above 4,500. That little grey thing there with the little rectangle, that's the runway. Effectively straight in over the ocean. And it's an RNAV approach, which I've not done in this yet, but we'll see how it goes. So Malon to Natley, and then we're going to head in over that little bit of terrain with a hazard beacon for a straight in offset final approach. Look, so from Aliva over the coast, we then autopilot will come off and we'll fly it manually in for the final approach, basically. So hopefully weather's okay. We've got an MDA of 1240 feet and not expecting many problems today. We need 3,600 meters visibility. There you go. Vignesh, yeah, so just take the camera config folder, so if it's for the A320 for example, take it out of the package that I've put on flightsim.to, take that fly-by-wire one out, and then paste that into the fly-by-wire folder where the camera config file is already located within there, so just replace it basically. And Ryan, thank you, really appreciate taking the time to answer all the questions. No problem at all, that's what we're here for, it's part of the live stream. Matthew, I've got to stop. Hello, by the way. Got to stop flying self-loading cargo and start flying boxes. Passengers can drive you insane. Venom's asking, is Navigraph worth the price? Most definitely. So I've got the ultimate package. Got a little bit of wing flex just then. I've got the ultimate package, which gives us the nav data across the whole sim. It gives us Navigraph charts, which I was just showing you guys, and it also, a lot of you that watch regularly will know I absolutely love the Aerosoft CRJ, my favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment. It actually allows us now to automatically import all of the nav data straight into there. Gusting 23 knots in the Seychelles, brilliant. It's been one of those weekends with terrible weather, hasn't it? Nick, yes, if you, keyboard wise, for your keybinds with the views, you need to make sure that you've got the keybinds set inside your own menu. But yeah, as Tony Flight Train's saying there, if you get the total yearly ultimate package, you've got two options with Navigraph. You can pay monthly or you can pay annual. If you pay annual, it ends up working out about £20-ish cheaper across the year. So if you can pay that upfront fee, that wing flex is awesome, and the little engine bounce. If you can pay that upfront fee, perfect. You'll save yourself a bit of money, which you can then use on other add-ons. But I use it religiously. I was one of those back in November, December actually. I was quite happily just using ChartFox, working it all out in my head. And then I thought I'd try Navigraph just for 1 month. And the second I started using it, I was hooked. And I decided there and then I couldn't fly without it because it was so good as a software for simming. Saurav, good morning, afternoon, evening to you as well, depending on where you are in the world, of course. Just done a short domestic flight from VIJP to Hyderabad. Nice. Van Raj was asking, do you know what other aircraft are on the horizon for MSFS? So in the next few days, we should be... can't say very much about it, but we should be getting the official announcement from that secret aeroplane. So I'm really looking forward to actually finding out what it is, and I'm hoping I can get involved in some way with that as well, whether it be through testing or bringing you guys some really cool content for whatever that secret aeroplane is. I've got a few ideas of what it could be. XT Flight Sim, welcome on board, thanks for subscribing, and hello to you as well. Sorry, you flew in blind into Hyderabad, was barely above minimums. Love it when the sim's like that, it's great. Love a bit of a challenge. We've been complaining constantly about having to divert for weather. Then a slight delays get going again, but we hit a bird on the diversion landing. What do these people want me to do exactly? Crash? Yeah, I don't think they realise how safety focused airline flying is really. ETA Sasha should be at the very top of your screen. Ryan, so yeah, you get up the very latest Jeppesen charts, so really fantastic charts with Navigraph. Great question. The nav data specifically is very good as well. If you've got the Aerosoft CRJ, it can import itself directly into the FMS of that, which is really smart. It will then also update your sim brief, so when you're planning your routes on sim brief, you'll then get the latest AirAx every single month, providing you've got a valid subscription. Which in turn makes planning for FATSIM really simple. But it'll also then update your nav data across the entire simulator. So missing airports, missing arrival waypoints and things like that will all be put in with Navigraph. It is very much worth it, and like Saurabh was saying there, you could give Navigraph a go for maybe 1 month just to see what you think of it. It gives you that 30-day window to sort of make a decision as to whether or not it's going to be pretty good, and whether you like it or not. And if you don't, you can cancel it. If you do really like it, you could then at that point pay for the yearly fee and get it all at once. Oh, I love it. Yusuf, where are we going? It's top of your screen, like Sasha's just mentioned there. We're going to FSIA, which is Mahé Airport in the stunning Seychelles. And we've got the new payware Seychelles scenery by FSDG to go and check out as well. And it is stunning. I was flying around for a couple of hours the other day when they sent it to me, blasting around in my little Just Flight PA-28, recording a little first look video for you guys. Yeah, and it's absolutely stunning. Other aircraft coming to the sim, there's loads of freeware projects, but 95% of those won't make it through, won't make it beyond modelling, sadly, because coding is about 90% of the work. And whilst you can find very good modders, modelers I should say, it's very difficult to find proper, decent coders. So, yeah. We know that we've got the PMDG 737 coming maybe around end of October, start of November. That's going to be fantastic. PMDG are also going to be releasing their 777 pack for MSFS. So if you guys want accuracy with aircraft, you can't get any better than these guys. So their 737 and 777 are due out at the end of this year. And they're also bringing the Queen of the Skies to Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. So their 747-400 pack as well, coming middle of next year. We've got the Quality Wings 787 due sometime soon, which are really looking forward to. Fly-by-Wire are working on the Airbus A380, Sim4Flight are working on a Payware A350. There's loads. It's a really promising future for Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's lots to be looking forward to for us as end users. Nick, you've got that Embraer 170. I've not heard great things about it actually, but it's very cheap, so it depends what you want, I guess. James can't wait for the PMDG 737 either. Yeah, it's going to be an instant buy, isn't it? Really looking forward to all their lineup actually for the sim. Been blown away by how good their DC-6 has been actually. Really enjoyable trying to learn that. Fighting with it. You can't believe the Fault doesn't have Istanbul still, the new one. I'm not sure if there's, I think there's one that's been modelled on flightsim.to, so I think you can download it and add it into the sim, which is good. Oh, James, that's a tough question. How much do you think they'll be, the PMDG stuff? So the DC-6 was about £10 to £15 cheaper than the the P3D version. And I think, am I right in saying the PMDG 737 for P3D is about, how much is it? It's about £100, isn't it? So I'm going to say 80 quid, 85 quid. Deadleg Media, hello. Dave as well, channel member, good afternoon to you, hope you're well. Just bought FSDG Seychelles Addon and it's stunning, loads to explore. Yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? It's a really good bit of kit. So really looking forward to showing that off when we arrive. If you want to check out all the other islands, I've done a first look video on the channel as well, so do check that out. Buzzing around a couple of little concrete strips with bumpy runways, and there's shipwrecks and loads of stuff to explore around this entire Seychelles Addon region. And it's not just the islands that they've done; they've actually done even the ocean around it. So they've built it all in some of the most detailed, some of the highest level of detail that I've seen actually for a massive, vast swathe of area. Hugh, I can't start MSFS, keeps directing you to the Microsoft Store. That's not good. JB, I hope so. It seems to be the pattern at the moment, so any aircraft that you can get elsewhere, when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator, they are reducing their price, which is always nice to see. Down below, that will be... Now, are we over Ethiopia still, or are we into Somalia? Oh, we're still over Ethiopia. Nick, that sounds complex. Yeah, Ashley, I think... so their 737 certainly is due out maybe a month to 2 months before their 777, from what it sounds like. So it sounds like we're going to be hit with both of those towards the end of the year. Hopefully both before Christmas, that would be great. Really looking forward to their 777. Is it hard for developers to use the working title code for flight plan managers and stuff? Would have thought that it makes it a decent bit easier for developers. I guess it depends what they're used to working with. Fly-by-Wire have been trying to get it into the A321X for about 4 or 5 months now. So it's obviously not particularly easy to work with, but the guy who's behind Heavy Division, who's modded this aeroplane, has done it really well. with very little issue. Neaten that up. Cool, we're on our way quite nicely. Matthew, welcome to you. First stream, nice one. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Give us a like if you are. And how long is the flight? It was a block time of 3 hours 30-ish, and a flight time of 3 hours 4 minutes, I think it was. But you can see on the top of your screen, we've probably done about 20% of the journey so far. The ETA is at the top as well for you. Yeah, James, I share the same opinion there. It's going to be instant buys for those, I think. Voicing from Milviz, hello, hope you're okay. Did I manage to get in touch with FSDG? Just about, yeah. So yesterday actually I was chatting with Amir, the lead developer for the secret aircraft, but I can't say anything about it basically. But it was a good little conversation that we had, and I'm hoping to bring you guys something soon with it. without saying anything. Yeah, they're keeping their cards really close to their chest at the moment. They want it to be a really pleasant surprise for you guys. Really exciting though. I don't know what it is still. Even having had a conversation, a really good conversation with the lead developer. Sasha's asking, when am I going to be on ATC? Next Saturday. We're fully staffing Manchester Airport on the FSIM network again for 2.5 hours. It's a scheduled stream on the channel as well. So be sure to join us for that. That's going to be awesome. Last time we handled 300 aircraft in 3 hours. So we had our work cut out for us. Jason, yep, flight level 370's cruise for today. Nick, yeah, Bredox 737 MAX is just trash. Yeah. And yeah, as you said, advised me don't waste money on it, but yeah, it's not good. It's just a bit of a patchwork quilt of an aeroplane, to be honest. Well, Oyster, I can't say when the announcement is coming, but yeah. I can't tell you guys what we were chatting about yesterday. I don't know much more than you guys though, I will say that. I've just got a bit of an idea of time frames for when the announcements are going to be made and things. Famraj, believe FSIM have started working on implementing the working title flight plan manager for the 747. They have indeed, and actually I was chatting with the lead developer for FSIM earlier before today's stream. There is a big update coming soon from Salty Simulations. Really welcome actually. It's been a long time coming, but they've finally got the flight plan manager stuff nailed. So they'll be able to fly. We'll be able to fly holds. We'll have the flight plan manager similar to what we've got in the heavy division mod, and it will be able to do direct twos again, which means we'll be able to use it on FSIM. The only thing is, it still takes off at 80 knots, which is the only sad thing. But I'm going to give it a go. It's really nice to hear that they've made some really good progress actually, even though it's taken a long time in comparison to this 787 mod. Yusef, yeah. Rolls-Royce must be very rich after selling its cars and plane engines. COVID's hit them pretty hard though. If you follow their share price, they went down from about £7 a share down to about 90p, which is 0.9 pounds, depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, James saying there a couple of streamers are testing the secret aircraft. So Katie Pilot is testing it, and Chewie is testing it. I'm going to be in their beta team, which is going to be really exciting. So once we can start talking about it, and once we all know what it is, hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys some really cool beta testing content with the secret aircraft. Jay, the PMDG 777 is going to be exceptionally good. Really looking forward to that. Even for some sort of BA, Real Ops, Birmingham, got both wrong there. For some Real Ops from Heathrow to Madrid, that's going to be really cool. Neil, great live stream, thanks. And quick question, why is the Rolls-Royce logo on the right side engine cowl back to front? Great spot. It's just the way the liveries are textured, the way Asobo's created the liveries for the 787. Ah, I didn't know that. Well, that's interesting. Effectively, it's a couple of things are mirrored. So the engine logos and also the tail is mirrored as well. Hopefully, with what some of the livery creators have done with the 747 being mirrorless, which is really cool, hopefully we'll see that improve the 787 liveries soon. Phantasma, how long will I be on the road? ETA is at the top of your screen. Got 2 hours 20 minutes to landing by the looks of it. Vanraj, is it a complete aircraft? A complex aircraft, sorry. The secret one. I've heard it's very complex, but very realistic, I should say. Does the order in which you open vPilot and MSFS affect model matching? Do you need to open vPilot first? So, when I start the sim, I'll right-click the shortcut and I'll run as administrator. I'll let it all load, and then when I spawn in on stand, I will then right-click on vPilot and click Run as Administrator, and then I'll open up vPilot at that point. Have I heard anything in regards to the 3080 graphics cards, Tony Flight Train? Not yet. I'm quite happy with my 2070 Super, but I'm not sure if there's a global shortage still. I'm sure someone in the live chat might know a bit more. Not sure if there's a global shortage of GPUs and things still. Indeed, yeah, as Ashley's saying there, so Rolls-Royce Motors is owned by BMW. Just scorched earth. Down below looking awesome. And we've got some contrails. Matthew, yeah, I need to do a Heathrow to Doha at some point. I was going to do it in Fly UK, but I might give it a go with Qatar or something. Ah, Oyster, nice. That's pretty good. By the way, in the next week or so, you've reminded me, I have actually got a video in relation to your Corsair all ready to go. At some point next week, I'm hoping to get that live. Love the work actually, the update from what's my cruise speed? Love the update from Milviz with the Corsair, that's really cool. 295 Mach 0.84. Look at that. Will I take part in Cross the Land eastbound on that sim? Is that the one that's on the 2nd of October? Because if it is, I think I'm out of the country on that day. But that said, if my holiday doesn't go ahead, then I probably will be looking to take part. I'm looking forward to Cross the Pond eastbound. That's what I'm looking forward to. We'll be able to use this. do Mach decimal 89. The thing is, I've got Bred behind, who's in an A320, so I don't want to blast away too quickly. I'm slower than the A320 behind me. Am I? Good grief. What's his airspeed then? And, there we go, there's Dave departed from Nairobi as well, I can see that. Indigo 228 though, we forgot to change the call sign. Got quite a few heading over actually. We've got, there's a little Dash 8 making the ocean crossing to Mombasa, I think. Well, actually no, to Nairobi, good grief, that's going to be a long, difficult flight. CJ4 going from Nairobi to Seychelles as well. And 777 KQA 721 going from Nairobi to Seychelles. Lovely. Who else have we got? And we've got S7 CTN heading out of Mauritius, CJ4 to Seychelles, although they're going to be getting there a bit before us, I think. Nice. We got American Airlines coming out of, I think maybe Yemen or something, Jeddah. A couple of hours behind us. Red, what's your ground speed and your cruise altitude? Yeah, the Milviz Corsair, as I was saying a little earlier on, actually, before I do forget completely, there's been a new update for that. And I was playing around with it the other day, really enjoyable, blasting that around San Diego. There's a video coming soon for that as well. There's droppable fuel tanks, there's droppable bombs, there's guns as well, so you can, the 50 cows in the wings, you can blast those. And your ground speed's 470 knots, flight over 330. So I'll do Mach decimal 88. My ground speed's 494. Maybe the Mach decimal 87, perhaps. See how that goes. As long as I match that so we don't bunch up. If you're in the background, come say hello in the live chat. All you've got to do is click that subscribe button down below. It's a new YouTube thing for subscriber only live chats. Sasha, how long have we been in the air? About an hour now, I think. 50 minutes, perhaps. My room, it feels like it's about 300 degrees. The heat that my computer's churning out is insane. Another aircraft coming soon as well, thinking about it. We've got the CRJ 900 and 1000 expansion pack coming from Aerosoft very soon. That's by far my favourite aircraft in the sim, so I'm very much looking forward to enjoying that, getting the 900 especially. Doing a ton of Delta Connect flights and Envoy Air. Anything and everything really. Scandinavian trips out of Scandinavia. We had to, well, actually be able to do some real-world ops for the CRJ 900 for Lufthansa Regional as well with that. So by far one of the, if not probably the best aircraft in the sim at the moment is the Aerosoft CRJ. Really enjoy it as well. Works very well. MS Tabassum, hello to you. Joseph as well, hello from Kinshasa, Congo. Wow, fantastic, welcome. And love the videos. Great to hear. Thanks very much. Miss Tabassum. I'm engaged, sadly. Thanks for offering. That's the first. That's the first. interesting bit of the world. I've just been looking at this, and it looks like, oh yeah, this is all live weather here, which is stunning. It looks like they've not taken out the clouds out of the mapping, out of the Bing Maps data, which is interesting. What other views do we have? There we go, for a bit of wing view. That reverse Rolls Royce thing is really off-putting, isn't it? Let's find. That makes it worse. There we go. We get a window view of some sort going on. Abdul Abbas, hello to you. Welcome. Hope you're okay. Deep Saki, I'm married with the autopilot. If only the autopilot could bring me some biscuits. I'm not sure if it's my eyes, but it kind of looks like we can just about see the curvature of the Earth, which I've not noticed before in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's quite spectacular. We've got bread behind us somewhere, and then I'll be supplying the butter for landing as well. Terrible joke. Deep Saki, frames are absolutely fine. What we're looking at, we're at 28 to 32 frames per second at the moment. Of course, when that, when this Sim Update 5 comes in a week and a half from now, that's going to hopefully unlock the sim to become an absolute powerhouse for frames, which would be really cool. Mr. Tavison, dream to be a pilot, go for it. It's my dream job growing up, that. Sadly I didn't quite have the money to do it, but JB, yeah, I'll be doing loads of BA real world flights as well, I think, when that PMDG 777 comes. Clinton was asking, is this the standard 787, and could you please tell me what's the difference? Great question. So this is the Premium Deluxe Boeing 787 inside Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's got a mod called, there's a project called Heavy Division. It's a freeware project, and what it does is it recodes the 787 Dreamliner to add in loads of extra features. So VNAV, LNAV and VNAV is really vastly improved. So vertical stuff and the left and right with the autopilot. And the FMS is really well detailed as well. So even progress pages, as you can see there, progress. It can do automatic holds, so we can fly a hold at ALKOS if we wanted to, for example. It would fly us around in a hold pattern until we tell it to leave, amongst other things. And there's loads of work going on with it as well at the moment, so it's not just he's updating a couple of things and leaving it at that. There's huge amounts of progress. Abdul, will Sim Update 5 increase updates, or frames per second, I assume you mean, in the glass cockpits? Yes, it will. So of all the tests they've done so far, they've found that... let's flick that collar onto auto, shall we? They've found that on average for their systems, they've had about 15 frames per second more than prior to their update, which is huge. Oh, these keybinds, I really can't remember them. Good grief, apologies for that. Sloppy camera work. Yeah, I mean, I've locked my sim at 35 frames per second. So it will not go above that, and what it then does, it just saves resources for more tasks, which is especially important because I'm streaming. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 programs in the background beyond Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I'm conscious I don't want to burn everything out quick. Yeah, parts are expensive. So I think you should be okay. For those of you who might be experiencing 15 to 20 frames per second, it sounds like with this latest update, you'll be able to enjoy maybe 30, 35, 40 frames per second. KUSUB, we are still flying over Ethiopia, but we've got one waypoint left, so we've got a right turn ahead of us, and then we've got a short, maybe 80 to 100 mile stint over to the waypoint called KUSUB. Then we're going to be flying over Somalia. And we'll be in Somalian airspace for around about an hour. No ATC. The random part of the world for there to be ATC on, of course. That was some student pilot, nice. What do you fly? I used to be a light aircraft instructor years ago on something called a GROB 109B. Hey Graham, speaking of instructors. You're not going up real life for a solo today, Brokey? Oh yeah, it can hold very well, Nick, this aircraft. Busy day ahead. We've got to get to the Seychelles, and then I've got to zoom back to real world and watch football, of course. Woody Ninja, Kevin in Mexico, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you tuning in again. Hope you're okay, having a good weekend. KUSUB, we're on FTSim, we're on the FTSim network, and for that you turn off all of the other multiplayer settings basically. My average frames per second in a glass cockpit is around 30 to 45. Lovely. So you could probably push it nearer to 60 frames per second with the update coming in a week and a bit. Ah, yeah. Nick, fair point. Thank you. Yeah, meant on the frames per second update. Yeah, there's a couple of... I'm not a tester, but a couple of people that have been testing it have mentioned that they've... it's just been updated yesterday or the day before with a couple of extra fixes and tweaks, and they've found they've basically found that they've got even better performance than the previous edition of the tester version they've been toying with. Why are we wiggling left and right? That's because I put it on auto, so it buggered the turn, I think. Alexander, for those who don't know, you can download Magnite sound packs for FA announcements. They're just WAV files as long as you don't mind playing them manually. Ah, that's good to know. Depends on the airline. We've got Ethiopian Airlines with the Luke Air tool. So we had the welcome announcements, safety demonstration, the duty free, the seatbelt stuff, and we've got descent and landing soon as well. Miss Tabasum, I did reply. I asked, what did you fly? Deep Saget, interesting. I mean, I lock my sim at 35 frames per second, and anything over 22-ish frames, 22 to 25 frames per second, seems pretty smooth for me. What we're on at the moment. Bear in mind we're doing turns and some other crazy stuff. It's telling me we're at 25 frames per second. And yeah, we're nice and smooth at the moment. And of course we're in the heavy division mod, which is a bit heavy on frames anyway. Or the 787 I should say. Heavy division mod doesn't change it. There you go, Ashley, you've locked yours at 30 frames per second. In fact, I locked mine based upon your advice, so thank you very much. Really appreciate all of that help on DM actually a little while ago. But I added 5. I locked it at 35 instead of 30. American Airlines 1. Who's that? Is that anybody in the live chat? Because they look like they're going to be fitting in quite nicely alongside us as we're flying into the Seychelles. So if you're on the live stream in the live chat, do say hello. If not, he has no idea he's about to be on YouTube forever. Cloudy Denver. Exceptionally depressing city. I've been there quite a few times in the past. Do love the States. Japan, that's where it's at. Surav, yeah. So the VFR map, which is that one, I never use it. Ever, unless I'm flying VFR. So if I'm flying IFR on an airliner, everything I do will be either in the computer or on the nav display, because in real life there wouldn't be a VFR map for you to have a quick look at. So I try and avoid using that if I can. Count some. So all of my multiplayer settings are switched off. So to see me, you'll have to be connected to the FTSim network, basically. Probably the easiest way to explain it. So for FTSim, you'll turn everything else off. The live traffic, the live multiplayer servers within the sim, you turn all of those off. So that when you connect to FTSim, it's just... all you see is the traffic that's actually on FTSim. Make sure we center the heading bug as we fly along. Apparently it's a Boeing thing. Actually, yeah, anything that saves your GPU is only a good thing, I suppose. Deep Saki, true. Some mods don't work with the VFR map though, so you will find that you'll go on there and it won't actually have it input at all. I think from memory this doesn't have it in either. Ed, hello to you and happy Sunday back. There's an American Airlines 1 over there somewhere. I can't see him yet. He's still quite a few miles away from us. But nevertheless, there is someone trying to catch us. And we got Dave flying out of Nairobi. Live weather, I leave that switched on. But with the exception of today, at the start of the stream today, you guys will know we were using Unreal Weather at the beginning because there was a bit of a weird way that the sim was reading METAR data. So it had extremely heavy rain. Firez, hello to you, and Zygi, hi. Do you know why my 787 Heavy Division mod, after loading the course from SimBrief, does not want to fly on the autopilot course, only it flies around? help. Ferez loved the 787. This is the heavy division mod, which makes it really very, very good. This is Saigi. I can't really show you this because we're in flight, but when you start the aircraft, you need to turn everything on. You need to then make sure IRS left and right are switched on. You then give it a couple of minutes until the screens go from blank to showing the PFD and the nav display properly. The aircraft's really good. You then go to POS init. Oh wait, actually I can show you. And you put in your departure airport, and then the gate that you're at, and then the heading. So when the nav display feeds in, when you're sat on the gate, when this appears with data, it will go from dash dash dash. It will then give you a reading. It will tell you what direction you're facing. You've got to put that in as well there. And then when the IRS aligns, you have to click that button and then add it in the bottom. Before departure, you've got to work out what you need to do for the actual departure route. If it says brackets vectors or anything like that, then it means it's down to you to navigate the aircraft for that little section to the next waypoint, basically. You can circumvent that by doing a direct to, but if not, you'd use heading mode and you just navigate with that. But as you're taking off, if you were going to go straight into normal route flying, so yeah, the aeroplane would just navigate itself, you turn LNAV and VNAV on first before you take off, and then when you've departed, all you have to do is turn the autopilot on above 1,500 feet or so, and it should fly all quite nicely. So I've certainly not had any problems with it myself. But you've got to, it's the same with the fly-by-wire A32NX, and certainly more so with the CRJ by Aerosoft. You've got to give it all of the data it needs for it to work out how to work and where to go, basically. Otherwise it will just sort of either fly in a straight line or it will fly off in somewhere random direction. Josh, hi mate, how do you get the Navigraph tab in the sim? Great question. I'm going to get a link to a video that I've done to show you exactly how to get it. It's probably easier to explain by showing than anything else. Let's try and find it here. Navigraph beta update. There we go, Josh. So check the live chat. And give that little video a watch there. Brez, the real 787s are made at your home airport. Is that Seattle or is that Charleston? Charleston, whatever it's called. Actually, that's probably the case. Yeah, that's a great shout. So that's a big thing with this mod. It's designed to be realistic, or as realistic as it possibly can. So for those of you, when you spawn, you'll start off in the world map, as we all do. You select the aeroplane and everything else. You want to make sure you just go departure. So for today we're flying from HAAB, Bole International, to the Seychelles, Victoria International, FSIA. When I spawned, all I did is I zoomed in and found the gate that I wanted to park up at to begin the flight, at HAAB, HAAB, and then I click Let's Fly. That's it. Absolutely everything else is done inside the flight computer here. Otherwise, the flight plan manager goes a bit wonky and the autopilot goes a bit wonky. So it's designed for you to put all the data into the aeroplane like you would if it was the real aeroplane, basically. Nacho Cat, hello to you, hope you're okay. How's the weekend? Hope it's going all alright for you. That sort of broken cloud down below, scattered cloud actually in some areas. That's stunning. There's like a lake here with a little river sort of feeding it. We're now, so as of now, KUSUB, we're now over Somalia. Yes, good question. When am I doing Heathrow to Tel Aviv? Some point in the next few weeks. I have been holding out for that because I've been waiting for the Quality Wings 787. It's one of the routes that I want to do to begin with, but you know, if it doesn't come by the start of August, then I'll do that route anyway. Hopefully a couple of folk fly along for that as well, that'd be good. We'll have myself with a BA flight to Tel Aviv, we'll have a couple of LL, and we'll have Virgin as well, perhaps all out of Heathrow. That'd be an awesome little group flight. Some IFR to Tel Aviv. Josh is coming home. Hopefully. I shall be watching later. It sounds like you will be as well. Aviation simulation, up? How's your little flight going? Can't remember where it was that you were heading to now. And how's your experience in the Dreamliner? You enjoying the sounds? And Aviv, hi from Tel Aviv as well. Shalom. Welcome. Natchakat, nice. Was it the A350-1000? Love that aeroplane. Fantastic. Quick little check at Volanta. Got American Airlines 1 is buzzing along. He's going to feed it in actually behind Bread quite nicely, and then we've got Dave as well. So it looks like 4 or 5 of us are going to smash in a couple of minutes apart, which is going to be spectacular. Who else have we got? They're going to arrive long before us. Yeah, nice. Deep Saki, nice. 787-9, we'll be able to do that soon with Quality Wings Dreamliner release. Banraj, is there any scenery for Tel Aviv? I don't think there is yet, but there is some payware scenery being developed for it at the moment, actually. Aviation simulation, no problem. Well, you'll be able to look forward to all these sounds. There you go. Love how it changes as well. Jake, hello to you, welcome. Hope you're having a great weekend. Guys, don't forget to give us a like while you're here, and if you're sat in the background, do click that subscribe button as well. Come say hello in the live chat. Any questions about the Heavy Division 787 or anything about Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially FTSim as well, just let us know. We'll try our best to answer where we can. Really looking forward to that Tel Aviv scenery actually when that comes. Sebastian, total flight time of around about 3 hours 3 minutes, but we're a third of the way there already, so very shortly we'll be over the Indian Ocean, passing the coast of Somalia. Josh, do you know when about the Quality Wings 787 will release? I have heard Q4 of this year. Well, where have you heard that from? Initially they were estimating Q2, quarter 2 of 2021, but that finished in that finished in June. So they've been radio silent since, of course. I've actually tried to email them a couple of times just to find out a bit of information, and also sort of introduce the channel to them a little bit if they've not heard of me, and they've not responded. Alexander, yes, good ears. FTSim Sounds indeed. Aviation simulation, we should see our takeoff today. I've ramped the weight right up to near to maximum takeoff weight, and we literally used the entire runway at Addis Ababa. I think we had about 100 meters or so left at the end by the time we got airborne. How to not? Do I have turning problems with the 787? Not massively so. It can be difficult at times to turn, but you've got to keep speed consistent where you can in the turns. Don't go too quick, but also don't go too slow, which doesn't help anybody, I know. For me as well, I've got rudder pedals with toe brakes, so if I need to turn that a little bit tighter, what I'll do is I'll whack the throttle up a little bit more to try and keep the speed, and then I'll just gently brake with one of the brakes, whether it be left or right, and it will help swing that main gear around a little bit more. So there's a couple of tips you can do. If you want to learn the 787 Heavy Division mod, I've done 3 episodes on the channel inside a dedicated Heavy Division playlist, so you can find that within the YouTube channel, and you can have a look at some of the features. Reza, menu for today, chicken katsu. Oh, love it, my favourite. Fried egg, or egg fried rice. Ribeye steak with gravy sauce. It's just gravy. And Coca-Cola, orange juice, Pepsi, coffee and tea, or gin and tonic or a red wine for me. Might be a gin and tonic today. Simulation. Never flying a Paro again, always slam a 450. That's not too bad, it's a heavy touchdown, but your foot per minute is going to be high in Paro just because of the nature of the airport, I guess. I think mine have been pretty heavy, pretty hard landings into Paro, to be fair. I've had an absolute shocker on a live stream a little while ago there, so, you know, at least you're not doing it live, I guess. Some high-level cloud building in ahead of us by the looks of it. Creeping in from the left. Bjorn, I've had you wanting to fly into a mountain. Ah, yes, I remember that from last time I flew into Paro, actually. Even with the Navigraph nav data installed, actually, it went a bit wonky and I had to vector myself. Hugh, do I have a tutorial on how to use approach for landing, etc. in the A32NX? I think so. Let me have a look. I think perhaps some older playlists. What sort of a landing actually, Hugh? ILS or? You have a little look at that playlist, see if there's any that sort of helps fit. I've also gone for the really challenging approaches by the looks of it, so all the manual circle to lands, the VOR approaches, the VOR DME arc tutorials. Generally sort of like the dangerous approaches I've done tutorials for. But whenever I fly the A32NX live, more often than not I tend to be doing an ILS approach, so you could always check out some previous live streams and I'll go through all of the approach and things on that. Aviation simulation, yes, not for long though. There's the coast coming up into view, stretching off down all the way to the south. And in a short while we'll be at the halfway point. Making some very good progress. American Airlines flight is closing in still. He's over there somewhere. We can't see him though. He's out there somewhere. If you're watching and you're in American or AAL1, and you're just about to leave the coast of Somalia as well, heading over to the Seychelles, do say hello. Fred, you're going to have to do the VOR approach. Freeway scenery's only got the ILS. Good grief. Alexander, yes, that is one thing that hopefully is going to come soon actually. Track FPA and things like that, flight path angle. Flight path angle works, I think, but it's not going to... You know what, remind me when we get a bit closer, Alexander. When we start to descend, I'll see if I can use flight path angle. We'll be flying an RNAV approach potentially in this as well, so... Although I'm not sure, does it... Doesn't crash stuff, does it? Loads of fuel. Naturecat, awesome. I shall have a look at Discord in a second. Let's see, I get some coastal views. There we go. Ah. Yeah, Alexander, that's good to know, thanks. So hopefully that'll be coming soon then. Yes, so the engines are actually General Electric Jenks, GENX ones on this 787, but the sounds are for the Rolls-Royce Trents, and of course the livery, Ethiopian Airlines for example, similar to British Airways, they operate the Rolls-Royce engine variant of the Dreamliner, so for that reason the liveries have got the Rolls-Royce stamp on the engines as well. Alberto, hello to you, welcome. Nacho Cat, decent pictures there. With the BA 787 in the background turning on finals as well. Awesome. Vanraj, yeah, we're flying real time. Real time and live weather. There we are. Hugh, doing Jeddah to Geneva, which is done in an A320 in real life, but it says the A320X doesn't have enough range. You should be able to. If it does it in real life, it certainly should be able to do it in the sim. Jeez, wow, look at that. Another little screenshot. Gonna need a new hard drive at this point. Aviation simulation, yeah, you do like a Royal Jordanian livery, don't you? Deep Saki, stop playing, go fishing down there. If we did, I think we'd soon be kidnapped by pirates. Fantastic coastline all the way up into the horizon. Look. Yeah, a Neo should quite happily do Jeddah to Geneva. I think you'll be okay. You, as aviation simulations there saying as well, should be pretty easy. Nacho Cat's asking in Discord, do you want a picture of a Cathay A350? Sure, why not? It is an exceptionally dangerous area. Yeah. What button is it? There we go, that'll do. Ignore the reversed Rolls-Royce logo. The land edge is so straight, it looks like you've reached the end of the world. It's bizarre, isn't it? This is one of the fantastic things with Microsoft Flight Simulator, because you can go anywhere in the world and there's always something to sort of see. Roman, are the sound packs freeware for that aircraft? So you've got the default 787 sounds, which obviously are included with the aircraft in the Premium Deluxe Edition. They're okay, they're not fantastic. You can then also download a freeware version of the FTSim sound pack, which gives you a couple of new sounds and things. Or for $2 a month, you can download the premium version of the FTSim Plus 787 sound pack. Just download it and then just cancel the Patreon, so you don't give them any more money. So for $2 you've then got a pretty decent comprehensive sound pack for the default Dreamliner, which is not too bad. I mean, the A320neo could quite happily get from JFK to sort of Shannon quite comfortably. So it certainly should be able to do Jeddah to... is it Jeddah to Geneva? I can't remember now. Memory like a sieve. It's been a long weekend. Simulation, yes. I'll put it on the other side then, just to alleviate that. Let's see what have we got here. That's probably the best view at the moment as we leave the coast behind. The next time we see land, it's going to be the FSDG Seychelles Addon. The whole area, the whole region, if you like, has been done there. Great for some VFR around the Seychelles as well with this add-on pack. Aviation Simulation did Gatwick to Toronto in the Neo last year. There you go. Yeah, it's got a fantastic range. We're almost at the halfway point. So the first bit of land that we're going to see down below as we're descending is actually going to be after the waypoint called ANVIX, and it's the island called Bird Island, which is stunning. There's a little dirt strip with a twin otter parked up, a couple of huts, part of the scenery. We won't see it in detail because we're going to be passing overhead, but for those of you who might want to watch it or bookmark another video to watch, check the live chat and you'll be able to watch the Seychelles first look video, so that you can get a bit of an idea and a bit of a feel for how good this scenery is, as I sort of tease you with about 4 or 5 airfields. And then you can sort of see what we're flying into. We should, providing it's clear, we should see the ships and things as well. We're going to pass ever so slightly south of Bird Island.
Hope you brought your life vest! Exclamation mark.
David, thank you very much. Hopefully, because I'm not a great swimmer. I'll have a life raft all to myself, I think. Thanks for your tip, appreciate it. We'll have Mahé Island as well on our left-hand side, a couple of miles away as we're flying in towards ROUTY. We're then going to pass to the west of Praslin, which is one of the 2 main islands, so the sort of secondary island if you like. We're going to have 2 of the other smaller islands off to the right hand side of the aeroplane as we're flying in then directly towards the St. Anne helipad for part of this approach. And there's going to be a backtrack involved as well for runway 13, which is then going to be interesting for spacing, because the terminal is right at the end of runway, right at the beginning of runway 13, right at the end of runway 31, I should say, either or, depending on which way you're approaching. Van Raj wanted to fly some smaller aircraft in MSFS. Is the Grand Caravan or Beechcraft any good? Yeah, the Grand Caravan's fantastic. Be sure to download the working title mod with that though, of course. Dave Hudson, you've got a Dash 8 coming towards you down below in the opposite direction back to Nairobi. Nothing but water. Yeah, you want the Garmin, I think it's the Garmin 1000 mod from working title for that. literally just nothing but water now. This is the first time actually that I'm exploring the FSDG scenery from high altitude flying in, so it's going to be really interesting from a different viewpoint entirely, because until now I've just sort of flown around VFR and really enjoyed it up close, and it is genuinely stunning for an add-on as well. Really very, very good. Do I have X-Plane 11? Sadly not, no. I've only got Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I know a lot of people are tired, I guess, of the sim being problematic, and they've then diverted off to X-Plane, but I absolutely love it. We'll do the RNAV Yankee runway 13 as well, so that's gonna involve a manually flown element towards the end on short finals, which will be quite fun. Jim in Texas, welcome on board. New subscriber, hello, hello. Hope you're having a great weekend so far over in the States. Matthew, does anyone know how much MSFS 2020 will cost when it comes on Xbox? Yeah, as Aviation Simulation saying, it should be the same price basically, but the Xbox version is going to be a lot more locked down. So the add-ons, I suspect you're only going to be able to install whatever's in the marketplace. And there are some atrociously bad add-ons in the marketplace as well, so do look around for reviews and things like that to work out if it's worth your money. Nacho Cat should be at the top of your screen, the ETA in Zulu. 1521Z. So an hour and a half. We've got a 40 knot headwind. Well, about 30 knot headwind really, with a slight crosswind component. Should probably see what METARs we've got. FSIA. Winds are oh good grief, 140 degrees at 9 knots, gusting 19 knots, but variable between 110 degrees and 200 degrees, so sweeping round into a quite gusty crosswind by the sounds of it. Few clouds at 2,200 feet, visibilities all the nines. 26 degrees and QNH 1010. Interesting. So again, I haven't put any arrival path in yet. Q is the folder to put into the community folder, the B78XH main. Where have you downloaded that from? Is that the one on flightsim.to? If it is, I think that's the stable version, and that's not the version you want. So let me know in the live chat and I'll dig out the direct download link. So you'll just be able to click that and it will download. It should be the WTFPM MMOPOC branch or something crazy like that. It stands for something like Working Title Flight Plan Manager Proof of Concept or something, I think. Hugh from GitHub. Was it the WTMOPC branch? I can't remember what it does, but I'm sure it was called WTFMPPEPOC. It's B787XH-WTFPMMEPOC or something. So you just, that link, the secondary link that I've just put in the live chat after Nabil's question, If you click that, if you're on PC, it'll download it straight away for you, and you just extract that folder, and whatever main folder is inside there, you then put into the community folder. I can't quite remember what the folder type's called. Cythera, hello, very well, thank you. Hope you're okay as well. Having a good weekend so far. Nabil, can you show how to put the arrival plan into the FMC? I'll probably do that in about an hour from now, once I've got the latest METAR information and weather data as we get a bit closer. What I want to do actually is have a look at the TAF. So we've very briefly just discussed the METAR, but I want to look at something called the TAF, which is basically the weather forecast for the destination throughout the day. So FSIA TAF on the 11th at 11:01 Zulu, and between 1200 Zulu today to 1200 Zulu tomorrow, the winds are forecast to be around 130 degrees at 10 knots, gusting 20 knots. All the nines scattered cloud at 2000 temporarily between 1800 Z and 2400 Z tonight. 8,000 meters visibility with rain showers, few clouds at 800 and broken at 1800. So certainly into the evening weather getting quite poor, but that temporarily bit shouldn't affect us. But we can expect winds gusting up to about 20 knots, which is probably kind of agrees with the TAF actually. Aviation simulation, possibly, yes. I hope this doesn't crash my sim. Let me just go into my folder and I'll find out for you guys. No, it's not that one, is it? Standby. I'll get the folder name so you know if it's correct or not. Packages. Where be you? Yeah, so the folder, the main folder should say B78XH-WTFPMMEPOC, and that's the latest dev branch for the Heavy Division 787 mod. At POC. Okay, yeah, so right about. Oh, now we're heading into Seychelles, FIR, so we're now in the Seychelles airspace. David, I think I'm going to be very marginal on fuel if I make Goose Bay. I'm not surprised you've done a bit of an Atlantic crossing with the Cessna Grand Caravan, wasn't it? Certainly braver than I would. I'd probably want to try myself. A little debug window, look. So if things bug out, you click info and you can take an image of that to work out what the aircraft's actually doing. These are not, but hopefully coming soon. Ah, you installed the sounds wrong as well. Gutted. I literally gave you a step-by-step as well. Yeah, headwinds never help. I'd love to do that route actually on the DC-6. How long's it taken you, David? Good couple of hours? Something like that, isn't it? A couple of hours. 5 hours. Oh man. Oh, aviation simulation. You deleted them instead of renaming the official sound folder. Ouch. Did you? I'm hoping you were able to just restore it in the recycling bin, right? Sounds like you were rushing to get it. It's like rushing to get it installed, which is the worst thing you can do with Microsoft Flight Simulator. You end up breaking it. Sounds pretty cool though, gotta say. And the heavy division mod really makes it. Need somewhere other than BGBG for Greenland, I think, but certainly doable in the DC-6. They flew it transatlantic after all. Very true, actually, yeah. Which one's BGBW? Is that NASA square? Airfield or whatever it's called. Love to do some ice strip stuff actually in the sim. Load of news pings already. About the England game later. Hugh, no, you don't need to do anything with the sounds. If you're happy with the default sounds, then you're absolutely fine. You just need to download the latest heavy division mod and pop that in. If you want the FTSim Plus sounds, which is what you can hear today with all the switches, the clicks, the engine noises and things, and there's loads of touchdown and gear sounds as well to hear when we get closer. We touch down in the Seychelles. Effectively, you need to download an additional package and follow a couple of steps, like renaming the sound folder in the official 787 folder set and be careful if you are editing anything like that. There you go, about 600, 500 and something miles left to go. Yeah, basically up a glacier is where you go on the flaky transatlantic trip. Nice. Is that what you're doing at the moment then? Still need to finish scenic South America. When we get to, I think, about IMSS, actually to be fair, that's quite far away. So there's our top of descent marker. So when we get to ANVIX, we'll pull the latest METAR, and we will then put in the arrival data from ROUTY, which is that waypoint there. We'll put in the arrival for that RNAV approach. How it goes, I have no idea, because I've not done an RNAV in this before. I'll just follow the same principles in the Airbus, and if it goes wrong, we'll just fly it manually. We'll turn the autopilot off and fly it in ourselves. J-Bait sounds awesome. David, good grief. Aviation simulation, yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Just watch those, if you get stuck, watch those tutorials that I've made on the channel. They should just give you enough of a leg up to sort of fast track your progress into it. But it's a fantastic mod. What's that? Ah, I forgot I've got a landing gear view as well. Wow. I've just seen a new aircraft coming to the sim at some point in the near future. And it's a Osprey, which is a FTSim channel call sign for our channel. But it's the Osprey with the US Marines use it with the rotating propellers that sort of make it turn from an aeroplane into a helicopter. That is coming soon by the looks of it. There's some programming going on for one of those at the moment, and it looks brilliant. Vanraj enjoying a nice cold coffee, nice. Watching the stream, tasty. Can't get over how beautiful the 787 is, Vanraj. Yeah, really agree with you there actually. Vignesh, sorry, having the cold coffee whilst watching the stream. Yeah, it's a great aeroplane. Someone told me a little while ago actually that the wings are developed by Mitsubishi in Japan. Random little fact. And then they're shipped over to the States on a Dreamlifter. David, yeah, that's the one. That's going to be awesome if that's modelled well. I mean, I've just seen 2 pictures and it shows that the helicopter, well, the props are rotating, so that's pretty cool. So that's coming to the sim soon. They're in the programming stage of development apparently by the looks of it. That's exciting. I'll get my hands on that, that'd be awesome. Not tried NeoFly. A couple of you guys love using that, but I've not given it a go. Not really sure what it's all about. Slight curvature of the Earth out the window again. A quick check of Volanta, sort of see our positioning with the aeroplanes around us. We've got American Airlines 1. I feel like he's come out of Jordan, I'm not sure. OEJN, wherever that airport is. We've got Etihad 546, which is Bread flying along behind. He's just passing ESTOK. We're just passing ITPOK, which is just one waypoint behind us. And then the American Airlines 1 flying in straight behind. Dave looks like he might be fitting in. I'll draw a big circle actually. Looks like he's timed that perfectly as well. You're going. Hopefully you're going. You're on the barber pole, Dave. Seychelles is really busy. There's a CJ4 about to land. There's a Boeing 777 about to land. There's one on finals, and there's one on the gate. Is he showing FTSim, or is this just Volanta? Question is, Dave, are you flying it on FTSim? You. We start the flat earth theory off in the live chat. Guys, make sure you join our Discord server, and we all chat away in there quite regularly. Full of nice people helping each other get sort of questions answered with the sim and everything else. Ah, so Dave's just tracking the flight on Volanta then. American Airlines won those on FTSim, whoever that is. Nairobi's been quite busy today, I've got to say. There is actually a VAC, we have like a FTSim Air Traffic Control Service sort of group that covers South Africa and across to the Seychelles. I'm hoping at some point when we fly to here next in the future, we'll have some controllers, we'll have ATC online, which would be quite cool. Maybe we could turn that into an event. Especially being as though the runway particularly is quite challenging. If I show you Navigraph, there's our position at the moment. If I show you the runway, we're going to be landing on runway 13, which is there with the displaced threshold. And the control tower and the apron is right at the end of the runway down here. So when we touch down, we're going to have to use all of the runway, go down to the end, turn around at this little turning point, and then backtrack all the way back up to Bravo to come off and park up at the gate. And there's only a couple of big stands, so you can take 2 and 4 out. You know, maybe for the A320s and things. Stand 6 with this scenery's got an Air France 777 on it, so we can take that out of the frame. We've got stand 1 and 5, 3 for heavies, or 2, 3 and 4 for smaller aircraft, and then 1, 2 and 3 over on the side there for light aircraft parking as well. We've got the Arnav Zulu, which is that really cool looking one there. So if we're coming in from the west or the southwest or even the south, we might come in via Lizzie, which is a really nice cool looking sweeping right hand turn to FS 403 and then hugging the coastline in, which looks very cool. Downdrafts can be severe on short finals. That's interesting. Turbulence may be experienced with winds from westerly quadrants. FS 401 and then 2.7. We'd be flying in via Malon if we were using that, but GNSS via Malon. We're going to be heading down to Natley, then we're going to be turning left from Natley and then basically just flying straight in to Aliva, and then we're going to take over and fly it in manually. There's an ILS DME 1103 there. Interesting. We'll tune that into the VOR 1103. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see Malon coming in over the coast, heading south and then hugging that coastline in, configured for final approach, and flying in? This is all going to be RNAV though. Or do you want to see that, which has got a bit more of a visual final approach, so we've got to manually fly it for a little bit longer on finals? Let me know in the live chat which one you prefer. Got 2 options. Deep Saki. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to fall actually. That sun's starting to come down as well. PC Aviation, hello. Is it coming home or coming Rome? If we play... Yeah, I think it's really difficult to call actually. I'm not convinced. I think it's come in Rome. Well, I could do an official create a poll. That's a new feature. David A. manual fly-in. Let me just configure a proper poll, shall we? There you go, there's an official poll. I assume it's popped up for you guys. No idea how it works. Ah, there we go, there's the poll. I can end that, so get your votes in, guys. Which approach would you like to see? The RNAV X-ray, runway 13, which is an offset approach, so we're flying in kind of sideways, like 20 degrees. So we're not flying straight in, then we have to turn the autopilot off and fly it in manually. Or we fly the RMP Zulu, which sort of leads us around the edge of the coastline, but it's more automated. And we'll only take over very short finals. Side question, what time does the sun set in Mahé? I'm not sure. Does anybody know? Because that sun is coming down. Nacho Cat, I can't do the Lizzie approach. Just from where we're heading in, we've got 3 aircraft around us as well. Hugh, yeah, the Drzecki Designs Moscow scenery. It looks incredibly good, doesn't it? We were checking out the Krakow actually the other day, the Krakow scenery by Drzecki Designs, and it's absolutely stunning. We're almost getting close to ANVIX now, and there's our top of descent look, so it's all going to happen quite quick. 320 miles. $193 miles to ANVIX. What's the ICAO code? FSIA, Foxtrot Sierra India Alpha. How are we doing on the poll? It's close, you know. RNAV X-ray with the offset manual final is just edging it. So those options again. This is the RNAV Zulu, the RMP Zulu. So you're coming in via Malon, heading straight in, and then left turn, land. Probably mostly on LNAV still until that last little bit. Or the RNAV X-ray. So the runway, by the way, for this is pointing off this way. This one is Malon down to Natley, and then we're flying in like an offset approach down to Aliva. Then we're going to take over and we're going to fly, sweep in. It suggests there's some leading lights there actually, and I'm not sure how they're going to appear. That looks like you only go wings level right at the last minute as well. Sunset at 14:20 Z today. Aviation sim. According to the BBC, the weather sunsets in Mahé at 18:20. Good grief. It's going down quick. 18:20 local, I assume that is aviation sim. Because sunset 14:20 Zulu is 10 minutes ago. What have we got here? Look at that. I'll keep that poll live until ANVIX is on that inner TCAS ring. And we were getting a bit too close, so I'll then have to make sure that I've got the arrival data put in, basically. What are the descent options, actually? There's no Malon at 4,500 feet. Talon, no, Natalie at 3,500 and Terry at 2,500. 18:20 local, 14:20 Z. Awesome. So makes sense. We are slightly north compared. So yeah, the sun will be going down very quickly then. Question is, oh, that should maybe that should be another poll. Question is, do we wind the time back so we land at sunset, or do we leave it at night time for the approach? I think I might rewind the time to sunset. Keep this sort of time here as it is. We want to see the scenery, don't we? Natcha Cat, awesome. That pole's switched now. The coastal edge, the RMP Zulu's edged ahead now. You guys want to hold sunset by the looks of it. We will tweak the time. What can we do to prep? Navrad, we can clear BOR. Oh, it's not going to let us clear it. We will replace it. 1103. Well, let's put that in either. Oh well. 130. Put that in there as a little bump. We'll be putting in the arrivals shortly. Night landing, but then we won't see all of the amazing scenery into the Seychelles, so I think I might rewind the time slightly and just keep the sun around this level for our approach in. It's getting down quite quickly, isn't it? Question is, which lights are which? That's those. That's that. Oops. Teleflight tray, yeah, true. Gil, that's a good point. I want to see if the hazard beacons are in the scenery or not. We could land in sunset, so we see Bird Island and everything else on the way. and then when we land and park up on stand, it should then be almost done, night time, and I'll then jump into a drone cam. How does this sound? I'll jump into a drone cam and I'll go out over the coast to look for those hazard beacons and things. We should see it in light conditions like this as well, to be fair. Get your votes in on the poll, guys. Which approach you guys want to see the most? We've got the offset final with the RNAV, with a bit more manual flying involved, or the RNAV Zulu, which brings us in around the edge of the coast, around the edge of the island. Both look really good. And we haven't got far to go now. $320 miles till the entry point into the star as well, actually. And it's the ROUTY 1 Delta RNAV arrival. We have to descend to Malon at or above 4,500. Yeah, we'll keep it around this level of light. I think it'll look quite cool. Because the sun is going down rather rapidly, look. Makes it look fantastic though. Best time to fly in the sim. Look at that curvature of the Earth. We are pretty much close to the equator now as well, so... rather spectacular. I think we've got 15 miles from ROUTY to Malon. It's all going to happen very quickly, so from there, top of descent looks like it's probably going to need to come a little bit closer. In fact, top of descent looks like it's around where Bird Island might be. Oh no, almost. Where did Bread go? And AAL1 and Volanta. Can't see them anymore. Good grief, 75 miles away. Well, it's good for spacing. Dot Meta, FSIA, and we've got winds 150 at 9 knots, variable between 110 degrees and 210 degrees. Few clouds at 800 feet, all the 9s. Scattered cloud at 1,800, 26 degrees, QNH 1010. Oh, that pole is getting really close, guys. When that ANVIX hits that line, the edge of that star there touches the line, I'll close the pole. And then whatever is the highest scoring will be the one that we will do. 100 miles to ANVIX, looks counted down. It's given us an estimated time reaching ANVIX at 14:54 Zulu. Not approached just yet, Nacho Cat. The actual published approach starts from ROUTY. Victor, does Navigraph have charts for Mexico? Yes, I believe it does. Most airports, certainly. Be interesting to see if that top of descent marker moves closer towards us or not. Matthew, less automation and better facts. This is sod's law, isn't it? It touches it and it went all offset there with a 50%. There we go. So it looks like we're going to be doing the coastal option. 52% of the votes. Thanks everyone for taking part. There we go, the RMP Zulu. Oh, look at that fiery sky, it's insane. Don't use RFS, sadly. Right, let's review Navigraph then again. So from ROUTY down to Malon, and then we're going to have the RNAV Zulu approach from Malon. 4,500 feet, descending down to 2,200 by Freddy. Fully configured and at final approach speed is mandatory. Then this bit here is going to happen very quickly. We should then line up at FS401. We should be wings level over the lead-in lights, or the approach lights for runway 13. I might, from that point or even before that, I might fly it manually myself, depending on what I feel like, because I like to fly manually. I don't like all this auto land stuff either. I like to just I like to do it myself. You can see we've got hazard beacon there. We've got a hazard beacon there as well. Hopefully they're in the scenery. We'll find out shortly. And we've tuned that 110.3 as a VOR. It's an ILS, but it's VOR. I've tuned it in to be treated as a VOR effectively. So let's put that into the aircraft. And like magic, I'm going to rewind time. Doing a Craig David, rewinding, was it turning back the hands of time? There we go, that'll do. You guys won't have seen a thing. We're going to go departure arrival, FSIA, and it was the RNAV Zulu, runway 13. And it's the route 1 Delta inbound via Malon. I've clicked Malon, just let it think. There we go. Can take a few seconds sometimes. And then once you're happy, exec's there in green. It doesn't always illuminate here. It's just one of the little quirks of the mod. But usually, if you've input something, you need to execute it. And there we go. You can see that's now committed. We've got all the data. Check legs. You can see there we've got a discontinuity. We need to deal with that. Delete it. We want to draw a straight line from ROUTY to Malon effectively. Don't forget to execute. ROUTY is not correct. We'll try 10,000 below. Doesn't like it. So top of descent might not be accurate. No, can't do that bit yet. Or is it another discontinuity? Can't delete that one either. Runway 13 then vectors. It's because it doesn't have the waypoint tetics in, I don't think, by the looks of it, which is where you would hold, but that's all good. On 103. Oh look, it's daylight. Ah dear, right. Well, let's work out Top of descent. We are at 37,000 feet. We want to be Malon at 4,500. Start speed of 295, end speed, we'll call it 210. 86 nautical miles. So that top descent circle might be correct. Francis is about to go to space, is he really? Like actually legit about to launch off himself? Madness. What else have we got in here that we can think about doing? Whoops. There we are. High level cloud building in with the live weather. High terrain to the right side of final course. Turbulence may be experienced with wind from the westerly quadrants. Downdrafts can be severe on short finals. If visual at map, intercept the PAPI GS and continue to land. Where is map? There. Cool. Ah, madness. Oh yeah, he's going to return in time to watch England play Italy. PAPI is offset to the northeast and must not be used if more than 2.6 nautical miles from the runway due to intervening high terrain. That's good to know as well. That's on the charts. For a missed approach, it's an immediate left turn direct to Hermie, a max of 185 knots. Then turn left direct to Tetix. Climb to 4,500 and join holding. What's your favourite aircraft and route in the flight sim? By a long stretch, the Aerosoft CRJ is absolutely wonderful. Really enjoy flying it. Route-wise, God, that's a tough one. Something like a Birmingham to Innsbruck for a circle to land, something like that, something with a challenging approach. I do enjoy that. Birmingham, of course, has got that really good Mako simulation scenery. Having said that though, what are the routes? A couple in the US are really nice, sort of San Diego. Either starting in San Diego or finishing in San Diego. Some stunning scenery there by Latin VFR. There's lots of good options actually. Second, this. I really enjoy flying it. I think maybe because it's been so long where it was such a bad quality default aircraft. Heavy Division have done so much in such a short space of time. I think it's actually really quite refreshing. It's quite nice to fly it. Shivam, hello. Thinking about upgrading Flight Sim to Premium Deluxe, but is it worth it? I hope it's not like a CS 777. So the default 787 is really rubbish, but the Heavy Division mod makes it quite nice. What I will say though, the upgrade price to Premium Deluxe, I think Microsoft are charging £80 or something for that. It's absolutely not worth paying the upgrade price. If I'd be honest, trying to get you guys to save your money and spend it the best way possible, if you want the 787, like you've just mentioned there, Shibam, just wait that little bit longer, wait for that Quality Wings release. Quality Wings are going to release their 787 pack for MSFS some point in the near future, hopefully very soon. It's going to be priced around the same price as the upgrade to Premium Deluxe. If not, I feel like it might be actually a little bit cheaper. And in that, most of this will work. Certainly the overhead panel, a lot of that will work nicely as well. And it's going to be a pay-wear, good quality aircraft. So for me, I would probably say if you've not upgraded to Premium Deluxe or you've not purchased the sim as Premium Deluxe straight off the bat, don't upgrade, just wait for the Quality Wings 787. Jonathan, I say, yeah, it's a good idea. I've not thought of VFR actually. Flying VFR from Zurich to Innsbruck is lovely, especially if you fly through the valley. Yeah, I'll have to try that. I'm meaning to do some VFR actually. I was going to do some VFR around the Seychelles. Then I figured I could fly from Addis Ababa in this heavy division mod for the 787. Japanese flights are stunning as well. Hiroshima to Tokyo Haneda, that's a stunning little route as well, a really nice route flying across Japan. Haneda's great. Narita with the Drazeki design scenery, that is mind-blowingly good. Hey, look at that, 105 likes, love it, thanks guys. What more can we do to, let's have a little think. It's been a little while, so I don't want to miss something. Approach. Right, so this is going to be a key thing. When we get closer, it's telling us there, FSIA RNAV 13 Zulu, 3,000 meter runway length, which we had a little look at on the charts earlier. But it's going to ask what approach speed we want to use, and in the Dreamliner, same with the 747, if you go to full flaps, which is flaps 30, just at the bottom of your screen, you can float quite far with that. So, little tip, select flaps 25 and put that into there for your approach speed, and use that as your VREF and approach with flaps 25 only, so don't use flaps 30. Unless you're going to be on a really short runway, because you can stop certainly in time. You can use auto brake, for example, and whack it up to 3 if you want to. You've got reverse thrust as well. But that will help reduce the float, so you can touch down a little bit more accurately. But what it will mean is, certainly for Category D aircraft, it makes it interesting for us flying this tight left turn in this approach. We're flying in a lot quicker. So it's something, another dynamic there to think about. 160, 320. Aviation simulation, yeah, it depends on the equator. If it's real time, it can take 8, 9, 10, 12 minutes. Click heavy division mod, click IRS menu, and you can change the align time. Or if you're waiting forever, you can just click force align and it will just do it straight away. Again, it's in my 3-part tutorial, so do check that out. Buzzing along really nicely. What was my top of descent? 86 nautical miles. Let's ramp that up to 250. I'm going to round that to 90. It says 86 nautical miles, 20 minutes, 1,800 foot per minute. I'm going to round that up to 90 nautical miles. Gil, would I be flying Dubai to Singapore event this Saturday? Sadly not, no. I'm going to basically be flying, not flying that day. I'm going to be controlling the ground controller at Manchester Airport on FTSim. So we've fully staffed the airport, 2.5 hours, which clashes with that event sadly. Jonathan, you only fly VFR usually. That's interesting. Absolutely love IFR in the sim. MSFS is definitely the one for VFR. It's stunning. Tony Flight Train, Luke can't make a payment. But what? Yeah, it's been. I'll try and get one controller session in once a month, basically. So, effectively, next Saturday is probably the best time that I can staff Manchester Airport for a couple of hours during a live stream. Before we know it, it'll be the end of the month. So. Ah, there we go, I can see people on Volanta again now. Red, are you still flying the red tape? The barber pole? Dave Hudson's making good progress, but he's not on FTSim, sadly. Should, in about maybe 10-15 minutes, we should start to see Bird Island. Shivam, welcome on board. Be sure to join our Discord server, Shivam, and drop us a little ping, myself or one of the moderators. Let us know you joined us as a silver frequent flyer, and we'll add you into the members lounge. Thanks for supporting the stream. Red, what's your ground speed? Oh guys, don't let me forget actually. Might start it now. Well, not start it now, I'll prep it, get it ready. Flight recorder. What I'll do is I'll record the arrival, and then we'll taxi back to the stand, and I'll park up with the engines on, because you have to do that for the flight recorder mod for it to work properly. I'll then rewind the flight, and we'll watch it from a passenger point of view perhaps of the approach. So we'll get that little bit of rewind while we're waiting for Bread to come in hot to catch up the high level cloud. 160. .476 knot ground speed. Oh, I'm doing 480. Not too far behind, I don't think. 70 odd miles, you'll catch up pretty quick. Roland, I've got trouble with top of descent in both the A320 but also with the mod, either too low for too long or too high to rival. Any suggestions? Do you use Navigraph? And if so, have you got the latest Navigraph nav data installed? Because certainly with that, it improves the accuracy of your nav data. So your top of descent marker tends to be in the right place. What did I round it up to? 90, wasn't it? It's not far off actually being at 90 miles now. If only we had actual range rings around there. Screenshot the landing. Roland, welcome on board. Bronze Frequent Flyer, thanks for joining. Supporting the stream. Again, make sure you give us a little heads up on Discord and we'll get you sorted with access to the lounge, the members only lounge. Is that lightning? It was, wasn't it? Brilliant. So where should we where should we descend to? We'll do maybe 18,000 to begin with and just see how we progress. Where is... ROUTY? We want to be at ROUTY about 8,000, don't we? That's coming up fast. Top of descent looks like it might actually be fairly accurate. Shivam, yes, moderators are senior captains in Discord. Or you can do @moderator in Discord as well, just to keep it a bit simpler. So, we'll do vertical speed. Okay, top of descent. Work our way into Seychelles. Should see, off in the distance over here somewhere, in a short while, Bird Island. So in fact, it should be through there somewhere. This is where like bits of the clouds and the texture start to play tricks on my eyes somewhat. Doctor on board, screenshot the landing. Shall I screenshot it from the outside on the replay mod, or the only thing I'm not sure what happens with the replay actually. Last time I checked, it deploys the spoilers, the speed brakes, just from a weird way that it works, I guess. So I'm hoping I've downloaded the latest version. I'm hoping it's that's been fixed. Zygi, when you spawned in onto the gate, just explain the steps in the live chat. I'll try and understand how you're doing it. It sounds like you're doing something wrong on your end, but I'm not sure what. Did you say you followed my 3-episode tutorial that I've done for the Heavy Division mod? Is that correct? As you can see, today we've done 3.5 hours of flying so far with no problems at all with it, and it's been rather nice. 80 miles to ROUTY. Get that nose coming down a bit more now.
Thanks
Tony.
for 2 days of superb streams.
Awesome. That's really generous of you. Thank you very much, Tony. Flight Train, one of our channel members. Awesome, generous tip there. Thank you very much for your donation, supporting the stream. And thanks for 2 days of superb streams. You're very, very welcome. It's been a really good weekend. Glad you've enjoyed it. That's what it's all about. There's our top of descent marker, look. But we're targeting flight level 180. And I don't want the top of descent marker there. Yikes. It's a Dreamliner, so it can be a bit slippy. We might have to self-vector this for the final bit. Malon at 4,500. Come on, engines, you can spool down a bit. We'll do 2,600. Almost there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching. Please fasten your seatbelts, keep your seatbelts, straps and luggage in an upright position. We kind request that mobile phones remain switched off and all other electronic equipment such as PACs, laptops and electronic toys are switched off until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on. Thank you.
Tony, yeah, the departure was mad yesterday, wasn't it? Horrendous weather. Do 285. I've noticed that's just shot up with speed a bit there. Doesn't want to track heading at all. You haven't got, by any chance, got the heading hold button lit up there, do you, Zygi? Is that yellow like that? Because if it is, it will just fly in a straight line, and you have to then click in the center of that where it says sell, and then maybe try and turn LNAV off and on again, perhaps.
Great stream as always. Let's hope that England is excellent tonight like your content in YouTube.
Hey, Jonathan, thanks again. Really generous tip as well. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. Love it. Really appreciate that. Great stream as always. Let's hope England is excellent tonight like your content on YouTube. Fingers crossed, eh? Glad you think highly of the channel. Really appreciate that, and enjoy the content. Thanks for the support, guys. I do really appreciate that. Right, let's manage this descent because it's a bit slippy. Let's get the speed brake out. Let's help us slow down a little bit, shall we? We are going to come in fairly hot as well, so init ref approach. That's what I was saying earlier with flaps 25. You want to select that, so click, add it in at the bottom there, and it's giving us our approach speed of 157. Let's quickly jot that down. Right, VREF. So 162. Add 5. That's sunset. There's Bird Island. Down below. Let me just double check that, make sure that is correct. Yes. Happy days. It's a beautiful little island. It's in my Seychelles first look video. Can't really get a better view here. It's in my Seychelles first look video on the channel. There's a little dirt strip. You can kind of just about see it actually, just here. A couple of little houses or little bungalow shelter things along the beach area. And there's a little twin otter parked up as well. A couple of beautiful things. Hughes just departed Moscow heading to Munich. Nice little route that. One Big Flappy Boy's flown the 747. Lovely. Everything you're going to see from now on, by the way, guys, is not in the sim. You have to get the FSDG Seychelles scenery to be able to enjoy all of this. Or if there's some freeware options, of course, you can download that. But this, the payware scenery from FSDG is absolutely spectacular. It's beautiful. Yeah, we've got a bit of a slippy descent now. Look, we're making use of speed brake. We've done the cabin announcement as well, so the crew have told all the folks to get back in their seats. I'll turn the seatbelt sign on in a second because we've got 10 minutes to landing. So, ding dong. That's all good. What's our weight? Still quite heavy. Loads of fuel. We've had to carry a lot of extra fuel today because if we have to divert for any reason, we actually have to divert a very long way. It's about an hour and a half's flight, so it certainly adds a bit of added complexity to the flight. Stick that in arm for the time being. I'm going to try. Oh, hello. Wonky. It's had a couple of gin and tonics too much, I think. There's Bird Island down below. There's a ship as well. So you can see that ship added into the scenery. I can zoom in. There we go, look. Honestly, it's an absolutely stunning bit of scenery. There's, you can just about in the distance just see the runway, the strip. Then you've got another island off in the distance. In fact, there it is, spotted. Tiny little island off in the distance. It's a beautiful sort of area to go and explore in the sim at the moment. And am I mistaken? Is that? It's just the cloud tricking my eyes. Mahé is that might be her there. If not, she's underneath that cloud. But we are making our way in. Runway 13, it's around about, yes, there we go, that's going to be the island. Let's get it slowed down to 240. Biggest thing in the Dreamliner is because it's so aerodynamic, the speed and everything can slip away from you, so it's important to manage that speed. Seychelles traffic, Ethiopian H79 heavy, inbound ROUTY 1 Delta, expecting RMP Zulu runway 13 approach. We'll report next at Malon. Prahlin should be directly ahead of us, so the second sort of biggest island in the Seychelles chain is just underneath this cloud here actually, and there's a couple of little islands here too. It's beautiful. I put it straight on the runway, take off, and on the out 500 I turn on the autopilot and LNAV. How are you planning the route? And are you spawning directly on the runway, because that might be your problem? Trying to hold the trying to hold the sunset here so it actually sets at the right time for us on arrival. Doesn't like to slow down. Let's get that speed brake back out again. Go 40 miles in total left now. Speed's just below 250. Shivam, when you see the aeroplane, does it look correct? Because if it does, then we know it's working correctly. Sometimes you'll hear the boops and a couple of errors and things, but that's absolutely fine. I thought that was a bit too late. Leave speed brake out for a bit. We're going to hit through 10,000, so lights, lights, lights. Let's light her up like a Christmas tree, shall we? Making for a nice scenic approach. There's Pralin. Just coming into view through the cloud. Good grief, the sun is setting so so quickly. There we go. Fighting the weather. You're using SimBrief. What AirAC cycle are you using? And when you're spawning on the runway, are you configuring all of the FMS properly? Give it a go spawning on the gate. Cold and dark, turn everything on. Following episode 1 of my tutorial for this mod. Just sort of see if that helps. Yeah, so Shivam, that's it sounds like it's working correctly, but sadly the way model matching works is quite rough in the sim at the moment. We actually need a dedicated package for it to work correctly. We don't have that, sadly, so we have to just all we're doing at the minute is trying to force the sim into doing it correctly. Laps. Uno. There's quite a bit of oscillation going on here. There's Pralin. There's the sun. There's Mahé. And Pralin's just there, look. It's spectacular, the scenery. It goes on for thousands of square miles. Just see what happens here if we settle down the aircraft. We've got some flaps out as well. Let's slow down to 180. 4,000, then we've got 2,200 coming up. Yeah, let's see if we can keep that speed up. We'll leave the speed brake armed now. We've got auto brake set to 2, but actually I'm going to set it to 1 because we've got to go all the way to the very end of the runway and then come back again. Vanraj, is the scenery on the Sim Marketplace? No, it's not actually. You've got to go via FSDG Online to download it. FS403, Freddy. There's Freddy. So we can probably sacrifice a little bit more speed, vertical speed there. Here we go. What I'll do as well is I'll turn the music down as we get a bit closer. We can hear all the sounds then from the FTSim sound pack. There's that sunset. Look at that. I just heard vPilot boop myself actually. I failed to create WAX 6255. That's because it's a random call sign. Just tried the dead zones, literally bugged out the autopilot, was flying in, knocked it off, couldn't turn it back on. Had to change heading and speed and came back on. Any ideas? Ooh. Really not sure. So remember, we're configured for a flaps 25 arrival. Wesley, hi. Joining us just as we're about to enter the final approach for the RMP Zulu, runway 13 into the Seychelles with the FSDG scenery, of course. Welcome to you, channel member. We can just see the island through the cloud here. Oh, you know what? Good grief. Quick. DH 410. Radio, flick. There we go. 410 for MDA, that's what we want. Now we're ready. We can smooth down that descent now, so we can try and target Freddy a bit better. Seychelles traffic, Ethiopian 879 heavy, passing Malon 4,000 feet, descending now for final approach. RMP Zulu, runway 13, will report short finals and then vacated Seychelles traffic. So we're flaps 15, Pralin is off through the cloud there, another beautiful island. There's twin otter hops between the two main islands actually, but look at that, it's beautiful. Love this sim. Weather, actually I want terrain, there we go. Final approach 130. We're going to hold 500 foot per minute. We need to be configured at final approach at Freddy. So 162. We've got 2 or 3 stages of flaps left. Shouting at us because it's going down the next. We need to put in the next stage of flaps. Get rid of the music. Start the flight recorder mod as well. Flaps 25. Three miles now to final approach. We need to be visual soon. We can see the water. It's always a good thing. Can't see anything in front though. And we want 162 VREF. Plus 5. Freddy coming up. 3.4 miles. Oh, look at that right in front of us. FSDG's Seychelles scenery revealing itself, and there's the hazard lights, guys. There's red lights in the distance. That is incredible. We'll get some screenshots of that. Oh, gear down. There's the lead-in lights, the approach lights and things. Right, time to focus. Hear all those sounds. see all the ships, the boats. I can't see the first beacon at Freddy though. There should be a hazard beacon here. Ah, there's a red light. I can see a red light there. We've got 3 windmills, or loads of windmills actually, with red lights on. Oh, good grief. That looks like we're going straight into that as well. Let's see. I think we're going through between the 2 windmills. Yeah, we are. Beautiful. How scenic is this? So there's the first hazard beacon. I assume. I would have thought there'd be one on the hill. Yeah, the clouds revealing the island then is like something that I just never thought I'd have ever seen in a sim. And you know, look at all of the lights and everything as well. It's just stunning. Flaps 25, auto brake 1. We've got MDA set. We're 2,200 now, and we want to start a descent down to 900. Ground speed of 147. So 800 foot per minute. Final approach. Seychelles traffic. Ethiopian 879 a heavy. Final approach. RMP Zulu runway 13. Will report vacated Seychelles traffic. The sounds are fantastic. 401 at 860. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, it's such beautiful scenery. So immersive. Got that sweeping turn now, just passing the. Oh, look at the clouds on the hills. Over the top of the windmills. We can see the ground, so let's get rid of the terrain map. It's very distracting otherwise. And I'm going to take over the autopilot because it's going to take us a little bit too wide, and I don't want that. Let's see. Get rid of the FD. Whoa. What's going on with my mouse wheel? It's hating me. There we go. Let's leave that set. Okay. My throttles. To offset pappies until 3 miles, so we're having to ignore the red and white lights. I'm kind of trying to look at the threshold. About 2.8, 3 miles now, it's starting to come in a bit more, so perhaps I was a little low on the profile. Slight crosswind. Look at the weather. Ghost Assassin, hello. And Transport Gamer, hello to you.
200.
We
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
reverse, touchdown. Let that nose wheel come down, and now we're decel for braking. What do you guys think of the scenery so far? Let me know in the comments. Got to go all the way to the end of the runway because there's no way we can turn around in time. So we flicked off auto brake. We're now manually braking. Jax, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. Look at this, guys. Absolutely stunning. Butter on bread. We've got bread flying in next behind us. Not even joking. So I supplied the butter, and we've got bread coming in next. Wesley, yes. It's been a while since I've seen those get used. Actually, this is such beautiful scenery. And if you've not checked out my little bit of VFR flying around some of the islands for this FSDG stuff, then do have a look at that if you're thinking about possibly perhaps buying it at some point, because it is truly stunning. Get rid of that. A quick wiggle on Volanta to see what the crack is with people flying in. Oh, hello. Thank goodness for toe brakes. Seychelles traffic. Ethiopian 879 heavy, backtrack runway 13 to the stance. We're using toe brakes here to try and keep this nice and tight. Look at that. Wow. Tony, thanks very much. Oh, look, it's like the sun. It's like the sky is on fire. So this doesn't exist in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is why it's so exceptionally stunning. FSDG have added it all in. The whole island, the photogrammetry, the hills, the mountains. It's really beautifully done. It's quite spectacular what they've done. It's all handmade. Zygi, oh, I'll have a look in a second. Don't forget as well, guys, we've got to replay the landing from a passenger point of view. Let's get off the runway quick as well. Let's get this backtrack completed. I'll have a look at the options in a second, Zygi. Don't let me forget as well, I need to complete the flight on Volanta. Otherwise I'll have a double touchdown. Slowing down to vacate. Here's the terminal, handmade. And again, it's brilliant. Banraj, yeah, correct. The airport doesn't even exist in the sim either. It's like a little section of the world that doesn't have any Bing maps or anything, so it's not even in the sim. Oh, who's that? Little Osprey 165 CRJ, is it? That in the channel livery? Represent.
Seychelles traffic, Ethiopian 546 passing MIWAS, visual runway 13.
Passing what? Seychelles traffic, Ethiopian 879 heavy, runway vacated. We're going to watch Bread come in. See if he can butter the bread. It's literally his username. And I won't turn the engines off because it will break the flight recorder mod. Park here next to the Emirates 777. Stand 3. Wesley 504, thanks for subscribing, welcome on board. I forgot to turn strobes and things off. I've left them on. In fact, I will leave them on because flight recorder mod likes certain things left the same way. So I'll leave all the lights on so we get a bit of a better show in a second. He said it was almost. He said it was visual with the runway, didn't he? Transport gamer, nice. Look at that. FSDG's Seychelles for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've stopped the flight recorder. Where is he? Where's Bread? Oh, he's literally on finals, yeah. And then we've got the American flight right behind as well. So eyes up and looking. Cythera, where'd you get the scenery? Just search for FSDG online. In fact, I'll get you the link. I'll put it in the live chat, shall I? If there's an option to tell them how you found them, then please do let them know that you've been inspired thanks to watching the live stream today. Where is he? I can't see. He should be coming in sort of over here. Does it cost money? Yes, it does. It's I think it's about £20 or £30, but you literally get all of the islands. Every little handmade bit of detail that you're seeing here has been added in by the sim. By FSDG's developers. Where is he? This is where we find out he's already landed. Yeah, it's a good point. You think this is free. Literally even the hills, all of this is included as part of the scenery. Check the runway. No, I've not missed him. There's the big old displaced threshold. See, I fear it's going to be a random model matching thing where it's going to be a plane without any lights. But we've got to watch Bread land. Jonathan, there, they've done a huge amount of work with the scenery. It's beautifully done. It says he's on finals now. My landing rate, by the way, according to Volanta, was minus 422 foot per minute and 1.09 G. Here he comes. So 1.09 G is really smooth, hence why it was a nice little smooth touchdown. Minus 422 foot per minute. Not sure about that. The attention to detail is stunning, isn't it? What I will do, Brett, if you're watching, by the way, I'm on stand 3, so find another stand to park at. We'll do the other ramp thing in a second. Once he's touched down, we will zip back to a passenger point of view. Here he comes. No lights, that's because we've got a random model matching model by the looks of it, so it's not quite... Oh, actually, no it has. There's an Ethiopian Airlines flight. Can't see though, very much. There we go, that's a bit better. That's just easier, isn't it? Rewind the time. Right, Air Cairo.
Seychelles traffic, Walker 6255, taxi to holding short runway 13.
So, I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM.
Seychelles traffic, Ethiopian 546,
There's Matthew.
Runway 13.
No, that's Bread.
Seychelles traffic, American 1, we are passing, well, we are 5 miles from Freddie for the RNAV runway 13.
There's American 1. We'll get round to my replay in a second. We'll watch this guy land as well. I think he's been racing from Jeddah to get to us at the same time, effectively. So he's done very well to land at the same time as us, pretty much. helipads as well. So for those of you who like the H135, I think it is, by Hype Development Group, the helicopter for Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's helipads at pretty much most of the main airports here in the Seychelles that FSDG has gone and worked and added in, so beautiful work. Look at that, he's vacating nice and quick there.
Ethiopian 546, clear the active.
A little bit of Tokyo drift at the end there. I've left the engines running for that flight replay. I haven't forgot. Don't let me forget, guys. This is just beautiful. Love it. One of my favourite sceneries. There's so much vast amounts of detail spanning thousands of square miles. I mean, even the ship in the distance, look. They've lit it up just for the atmosphere, that immersion. Ships sailing into the port. Here comes the American Airlines flight. You know what? He's got lights. I'm going to try and get a picture. Really good little screenshot, I think, if I can.
Seychelles traffic runway 13 is occupied. Takeoff. Tilbom 1 Bravo. Standard instrument departure.
Seychelles traffic 1, passengers ready for the
Poop.
runway 13.
Copy.
Goes to Sassin, no problem at all. We've got the American 1 to land coming up. And then we're going to rewind and get that passenger view as well. Oh, that level of detail on the livery now has ruined it for us. It's the problem with the 787 liveries. Oh, double whammy there. I forgot the after landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed. For safety reasons, all passengers must remain seated with their seatbelt fastened until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. Please be careful when your openings overhead.
Runway 13 vacation.
May have shifted during landing. When leaving the aircraft, please check that you're not leaving any of personal belongings behind. Passengers continue to another flight may contact our ground staff for any assistance.
Should be quick for a little swivel there on the view, look. We should catch his touchdown perfectly, I think, I hope.
Captain Yared and the rest of my colleagues, hoping that you have an enjoyable flight with us. I'd like to say goodbye and wish you a pleasant stay in all respective destinations.
Here he comes.
We look forward to serving you again on one of Ethiopian
Got floodlights as well.
Thank you and goodbye. ክቡራትና ክቡራን እንግዶቻችን ለ11 ሰዓት 5 ደቂቃ ጉዳይ ነው። ለደህንነታችሁ ጥንቃቄ ሲባል
going on? Skirting the trees. It's not far off what I did, to be fair. Let's be honest.
የሻንጣ ማስቀመጫዎች ስትከፍቱ እቃ እንዳያልቅባችሁ ተጠንቀቁ እያሳሰብ ከአውሮፕላኑ ከመውረዳችሁ በፊት ምንም እቃ አለመርሳታችሁን ታረጋግጡ ልናስታውሳችሁ እንወዳለን። ጉዟችሁን በሌላ በረራ የምትቀጥሉ መንገደኞቻችን ተጨማሪ መረጃና እርዳታ ካስፈለጋችሁ በጣቢያው የሚገኙትን የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድ ሰራተኞችን ታነጋግሩ እናሳስባለን። መንገደኞቻችን በሙሉ የሸዋ ማይልስ ኢንተርናሽናል አላያንስ
Yeah, I wasn't able to pick up the VOR either. I think it's maybe like an ILS DME only. It's a stunning approach though. Have you got the FSDG scenery as well, Brett? No idea what scenery he's using. Whoa. Crikey. Alexander, thanks. Right, let's get that passenger view, folks. Let's see. Oh, we're going to have the Rolls-Royce logo mixed up. Damn it. Oh, that RR ruins it somewhat, but that sky, just wow. Right, flight recorder. Replay. Whoa, wing flex just then. Here we go. Alexander, thanks for the super chat. Hitting up the vibes. He was very low for the landing. I think he was sort of tickling the water with his wheels. Love it. Might get a couple of views out of this. It's beautiful, this approach. This way as well, you guys are getting a real good feel for how good this FSDG payware scenery is, because I think it's about £30. You'll just have to get creative and imagine the Rolls-Royce logo is facing the correct way. A cloud rolling over the hills. It looks so realistic. Centurio, hello. What do you think of the Seychelles for MSFS? Sharp right turn coming up. So if we go to that view, no, that view, probably a bit better, isn't it? Perhaps not, we'll be over the ocean again. God, I'm trying to remember the keybinds with my fat fingers. Yeah, we can hide the Rolls-Royce logo by being a bit creative with the wing view. Let's escape. Let's go to the back of the wing. Oh, look at that. This is absolutely breathtaking by FSDG. Flight recorder's working really nicely as well. Is the Thrustmaster HOTAS X good for MSFS? Yeah, that's what I've got. Love it. See the all the little ailerons and the flapperons and the spoilerons actually as well kicking in. Those really finite control inputs and the big ones as well, like that, fighting that little bit of crosswind. Spectacularly stunning. Rejenks, no problem. It's called the Luke Air tool. It's free to download on a website called FlightSim.to. Look at that level of detail they've put into this scenery. And I know you guys love. This is why I like this. This flight recorder app, by the way, is free as well. It's on FlightSim.to. Let's go there, and then we go camera view, drone follow mode. Down we go. And this is where we can get really creative with the angles. So we can get landing views that look like that. And again, this is free to download, FlightSim.to. Oh, look at that. That's like a computer wallpaper. Bread, I know, there's no one else coming in though. You won't tell anyone if I won't. Look at the scenery. There we go, now we can watch from a tower, or like a side view. Is it Payware Aircraft, Birdman? Hello. Ooh. We'll be out the way of this guy then in a second. Let me disconnect from FatSim. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. We'll connect as observer so they can't see us. I love this flight recorder app. Can hear a little prop. Where's that touchdown? Whoa. Love it. There. Oh, look at that. Right on the touchdown markers. Can't ask for more than that, can we? Look at that scenery. And then of course we can resume the replay and carry on as normal. We can watch the actual taxi in as well, from a passenger point of view, as we return back to the stand. There we go. 3 days of live streams over the weekend. I hope you guys have really enjoyed it. Today I wanted to do this, just something a little bit special, just to really show off how stunning the scenery is by FSDG, the Seychelles, from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I can really highly recommend the scenery. I put a link in the live chat a second ago, and I've also updated the stream's description today, so if you refresh your page you'll see the link direct to FSDG's website where you can pick this up for Microsoft Flight Simulator before you head off. Let's see, let's get that. Oh, look at that. Next week, we've got a live stream on Saturday. We're going to be heading to Manchester Airport, Echo Golf Charlie Charlie in the UK, and I'll be sitting in the control tower, feet firmly on the ground for the day. We'll be on the FatSim network along with a number of other controllers. We're going to be flying nowhere. Basically, we're going to be controlling for 2.5 hours on the FatSim network with clearance delivery, myself as ground control. We're going to have tower controllers and also an approach controller as well. So if you guys want to get your teeth into a bit of FatSim, learn the way, then you can certainly do that by joining us on Saturday, either watching or connecting and flying, or both. Thanks to Bread for flying along. I hope you've enjoyed it. Welcome on board to Shivam and Roland, 2 new channel members today, joining the stream and supporting the channel with their memberships. So thank you to you guys, and Tony Flight Train, one of our channel members, and Jonathan, another channel member, for your really generous donations, and Alexander as well, actually, with your super chat as well. Thank you very much to all of you guys for supporting the stream. Of course, all of you watching at home or wherever you might be in the world, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and I hope to see you next week for some more live streams. And keep your eye out, of course, on the channel over the week for a couple of cool videos, including some meme add-ons for the sim, something a little bit different from us. In the meantime though, guys, as always, hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Hopefully England win the football tonight. Hopefully it comes home. I'll see you next week. Take care, and thanks for watching.